welcome to Infamous, the audio podcast. This is Brandon, or Mulus, on the forum.
And this is Parker. Go by Dr. Mantis Toboggan, MD, on the forums.
This is Jeremy. You can find me at /no spoilers for Spider-Man 3, hashtag God damn it, watch Spider-Man 3. Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm. That's a pretty big /.
Hashtag /com.
I'm just making a note here of how to get a hold of you. All right. So anyway, welcome to the podcast. Hopefully you're having a good time. This is going to be released basically Christmas of 2021. We got another zinger here for you. As if 2020 wasn't good enough, we're wrapping up 2021 on just as much of a high note.
Yay!
Yeah. Never boring here in the MCU. All right.
Can't stop it.
Yeah. Moving on to announcements. Parker, you're down to 830 probationary episodes.
Nice.
Don't call it a comeback. Here we go.
Yeah. Basically already there.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So let's see. What's today? Episode 66? Yeah, nothing could go wrong. So you also owe Jeremy 11 pizza rolls that you've yet to pay up on.
Well, no,
And
it's
you're
not. It's not yet to. It's just he hasn't called it in yet.
That's true.
This is a Godfather.
Demanded his rolls.
Yeah,
yet.
this is a Godfather type thing.
Jeremy,
Yes.
you should demand your pizza rolls at like noon on Sunday, so he has to come to the Chief Stadium to give them to you.
That's true.
Yeah,
I plan
he
on
has to go to
asking
the
for
game.
them one at a time.
That'd be balls. That'd be
it's-
balls out. Shit, this
He's
this
just
does feel
puts
like the
one
mob.
pizza roll on a plate and gets out a blowtorch to cook it. Like, here's your pizza roll. Parker is also not allowed to say the words pineapple or blade in any context. Also, there is another secret word he does not know that he's not allowed to say. If he does so, he will earn more probationary episodes.
Is it Hoboken?
Oh,
It is not Hoboken.
damn, it was
Ooh,
close.
I cannot believe he was that close. Parker's over here playing with
does
fire.
Hoboken mean?
It's a place, isn't it?
It's a place. Yeah, it's a place.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a city. It's
Yes,
like a
it's a
city in Massachusetts, I want to say.
I think it's New
it's
Jersey.
an
right?
old
It's
ship.
it's in New England, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
It's
it's
an old
yeah, it's New
wooden
Jersey.
ship.
It's in New Jersey. Yeah, it's not far from Manhattan. It's
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you say so. Okay.
Alrighty. So moving on, Parker, do you have something to tell us?
I have news.
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 All right, for Christmas, we got news.
Nice.
First thing, really important. We gotta get this out of the way first. I think it's the big ticket. We're getting yet another advanced R&D printed. Huzzah!
Yes.
Yay.
Finally-
I told you guys. I fucking told you guys.
I mean, this actually makes more sense than anything because now you'll have an actual accurate card.
That's true. Well, hold
so
on.
I
Do we
think-
know that? Do we know that it wasn't printed before they made the change? Because
Oh
it might
my God,
be.
I can't imagine.
We only
it
saw the
was.
back. We only saw the art on the backside. I bet it's the old
no.
printing. I bet they made this before they changed it. I bet.
That would mean that you have. We're going to have another printing because they're doing the card pack next year.
Yeah.
So that means we're going to end up with like 4 copies of Advanced R&D.
For those of you guys who don't know, it features the latest Infinity War saga with who had the Infinity Stones and over Gamora as her new persona for that saga called Requiem. So it features her Requiem mask and the Infinity Gem holders right before she still took them all and did the Infinity thing. But it was
So who are the Infinity Gem holders? It looks like, if I had to guess here, we have Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange. I think that's Reed Richards. And then there's a girl, a dude with a sword or some kind of stick, and then a dude in a hat.
hold on a second. Let me see a big version of it. It's no, it was.
It's probably not Richards.
At the moment, it was Adam Warlock, Black Widow, Star-Lord, Strange, Captain Marvel, and a B-list supervillain who's actually like his thing was he could read minds. He was a really B-list supervillain, but he got the Mind Stone for a little while, and so he got like superpowered, supercharged, obviously. And I can't remember his name. He was like super, unknown supervillain guy.
This is the guy in the middle to the right, the purple guy.
No, that's Star-Lord.
That's Star-Lord?
Yeah, that's Star-Lord. It's the yellow
Doesn't
costume.
look anything like.
That's because in the MCU, his costume is totally different than his MCU is totally different than the Marvel Universe.
Okay.
The mask is the same. You can't really see it well, but the mask is his mask from the MCU. But his outfit's totally different. But yeah, he's the guy with the cane and the hat and the glasses, the Yellowstone. That's the Mind Stone on the far side. Yeah. So it'll be advanced R&D featuring that. It looks like cover art from that series. I think it is cover art from that series actually.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Cool. That was riveting.
Yeah. So really important. Next bit is we got Gambit's official release, his panel to play. Nothing really changed. I don't know if we had his backside before, but he is identical on his backside as his front side. Yeah. Do you guys want to hear it all again? I don't know if you care. Yeah,
no.
But he's still Gambit. We found out he's the same on his front and his back. However, along with his panel to play, since people are getting boxes for him, we have a card that comes with his set that is big news, very big news. A new Crisis. Normally when a new Crisis comes out, you're like, oh, okay, cool. This one is a little bit more than that, I think. It's a blue Crisis, so secure. It is a 20-pointer, so another 20-pointer, and it says, superpowered scoundrels form a sinister syndicate. That's a lot of alliteration. But the setup is place 5 ambush tokens shown on map F, so it's an F deployment. Players scored 1 victory point for each ambush they secure during the cleanup phase, and it's a very simple effect. Any characters contesting an ambush token have cover from attacks made by characters not contesting the same ambush token. By the way, cover still works as cover, right? So if you're not contesting the ambush token but you're within 2, then it doesn't matter. But if you're
just like Rocket,
right? Yeah, it works just like actual cover. It's not super cover somehow, but
yeah, the way it's worded in the rules for cover is you don't gain cover if your targeter is within range 2. This bypasses that and simply gives you cover.
Yeah,
and so as long as you have cover and you're allowed to benefit from it, you gain the effect.
Right.
So like obviously anyone who prevents dice mods would prevent it, but nothing else. All right. I think this is a pretty impactful mission. I think it's going to really rock the meta a bit. And I think the problem is people are going to put it in their list and immediately get blindsided. I think this is massive for Sam Spam. Like, absolutely massive. Because it's the second highest scoring secure mission, and it gives your guys cover if they're not standing on the point with you.
I thought of that initially at Sam Spam. Also, Web Warriors, it's going to be insane.
Web Warriors will be good, but I don't know if Web Warriors can hold 5 points. I think it's a bit too much for them. But obviously cover is good with them, so that's nice.
I think it'll be really good for Sam Spam or like Guardians maybe, because Guardians might be able to get that many out there.
I think like Guardians, so this is the trap, I think. This is a lot like what we talked about last week, is people are going to put these missions in their list thinking, oh, well, I can score 5 points, but they're not thinking about who else in the meta wants 5 points. Mm-hmm. And they lose to all of those lists. And so they put it in their list anyway, and then they get beat by the meta lists. I think that's a huge trap for Guardians, because they don't really do any board manipulation. They don't do any increased scoring. They're just normal. It's kind of like Sam, but I think Sam goes even wider. And his guys are harder to kill. And so I think Sam will outgrind Guardians, and I think Criminals will just outscore you by just getting the double count. And then, Web Warriors will just move you off the point, so it won't matter.
Right.
And so I think that's why Guardians might get checked a little bit. Guardians are kind of like the fair man's go wide list, and all the other go wides are a little less fair.
True.
Well, Sam tends to have a bunch of throws. Like a lot of those 3-point models have throws built in, where Guardians
in some way.
don't. And that's why I was thinking Web Warriors. Web Warriors can kind of pull you off of them and manipulate.
Yeah, Web Warriors would be rough.
The one thing about Web Warriors is, though, you'd have to... I mean, I'm sure you can do this. You just have to be willing to spend 4 points on Peter, and that's probably it. Like, you're probably not playing 4 points for Venom at that point. You're trying to go more wide. But you could do that.
Well, at 20, because their base 4 is only... 14 points, so they can still throw in like Shuri and Black Cat, and that's a very scary 20 points on this.
Right.
I mean, you got 6 characters, you got a massive amount of board manipulation.
Well, you say throw in, but Black Cat's almost always showing up anyway. Like she's already away.
I mean, yeah, she's in the roster for sure, but I don't. Depending on the scenario, she's not getting played. Who else for 3 points would fill her slot?
No, no one would put. No, you wouldn't put anybody instead of Shadowcat. I think.
I'm just saying if you didn't have, you keep saying Shadowcat.
Sorry, Black Cat.
In case you're playing like a not single extract mission, I think there's probably a better option for 3 points. I just can't think of anybody right now.
Pins in faction. Is that what you're looking for?
Just kind of anything, honestly.
Lizard. The answer is always Lizard.
Lizard's not bad. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
3 points for Lizard. Lizard is right on the edge of a 4-pointer. Like, he's ridiculous.
Yeah, but you're only buying stats. I guess he has a push and a throw.
Yes.
Yeah, Lizard's probably the go-to. I'm just browsing to see if I see anything else.
It's hard to beat Lizard.
Yeah, Lizard's pretty good. Quicksilver, that's the other one. Quicksilver.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd run Quicksilver maybe if you didn't want Black Cat, just to go more fighty and faster.
Right.
But yeah, obviously Black Cat's in the roster already, so you probably don't bother taking Quicksilver, but you might.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys have any opinions about this mission, about stuff I haven't talked about yet?
I'm super excited to play it. Unfortunately, it's fucking random, so I may never see it ever again. But I think it looks fun. I don't know that it looks fun to try and win a game, but it looks super fun.
This feels like the exact kind of mission I would love to play with if they didn't just make missions random.
Yes.
There's one thing it's interesting that it's 20 points, and I haven't done this in a while. At one point in the game I actually went and just spread out all the missions and found out, what is like the average point level. Now that it's totally random, where the problem with when I did that was then people actually don't play, don't do that. They actually do want this many points or that many points. And so they were purposely making sure their list always got that because their 2 out of 3 were 20 or 2 out of 3 were 17 or whatever. But now that it actually is totally random, there might be something to going back and looking at how many different points there are of each level. Because now this is the third 20-pointer, right?
But I think that's a little bit of flawed data. You'd have to be careful because people aren't going to be playing random missions. They're going to be playing very specific missions. I think we're actually going to see more of the 17-pointers coming back for reasons we talked about last time.
Yeah, right.
It's because people are afraid of those 20-point missions because they're so swingy.
Right. But the one thing about this 20 point is I feel like this 20 point is actually another more generic mission. I think this is, even though we can agree that anybody who can go wide is going to have an advantage, there are other go wide secures that are like this. They're just pretty generic. Just like get a power. In this case, get an ambush, or get a cover rather. So I don't know. I don't think it's unfair. I think it's just fine.
I think it'll catch you off guard. I think it's Gamma-like in that if you're not ready, suddenly your opponent's going to be up 3 points on you, and it's going to be hard to get those back.
Yeah, it's a potential 5-0 score in a secure, which is pretty much unheard of.
But you'd have to have, if you pull that off, where you had 5 of your characters were actually contesting and pushing or eliminating off the other characters. While they have cover, by the way. That's the other thing about it, is if you're trying to get a person on 1 point to influence another point, you have to try to either push them off or eliminate them while they have cover, which is harder.
Yeah.
So like if you're
they only have cover if you're not also on the same point, but I wasn't thinking about really killing them. I was thinking about just control. Like you definitely have those games or those turns where somebody isn't prepared to fight against Web Warriors. Or you just get a hot turn, accidentally daze somebody at the right time, and it was like a crucial activation they had. It's definitely not. I'm not thinking people are going to be going. It's not like Game of Wave where people are going to have plans to score 6 points,
right?
But it's going to be hard to stay ahead of people like criminals. It's like, what do you do against criminals when they're just like, I take 4 points, and you're like, okay, like that's they just form like a line because remember. A Bravo deployment is wider than Foxtrot deployment. Foxtrot actually moves them in about 2 inches.
Right.
So they're very densely packed in the middle of the board. We've never seen a Foxtrot deployment for blue, right? There isn't one. No. Unless I'm crazy.
There's not.
It's just the 2 extracts so far.
Right.
So I don't think we've ever seen such a mosh pit in the middle of the table before. And so there's a lot of scenarios, or there's a lot of affiliations that are really going to want this, and a lot that really aren't. Because it's just going to allow you to just stand there and beat the shit out of them.
And that's actually one of the things. That's I think the reason why it gives you cover is because there are so many characters in the game with a range 3 or range 4 attack that could stand on one point and then actually do damage and interact with characters on the other point. So I think
it's almost like a minor fog of war kind of effect.
Yeah, precisely.
Fighting the people near you,
Right.
But I think there's a lot of people that want to do that.
Sure.
Like X-Force, for example.
Right. But X-Force is going to struggle to go wide. I think I think your criminals point is actually true. I mean, we're going to talk about it in a second. But I think criminals is a really good example of a list that would love this, because you can just run 3 guys to 3 different points and just have them. Because your opponent can't stop you, because they'll only have 4 to 5 people. You have 5 to 6 people, and you're a criminal, so they've got to daze your guy, and you have cover, and you're probably a criminal, right? So criminals are generally pretty stocky. So it's going to be like, I think criminals are going to really like this one. I know Sam Go Wide is going to like it as well, but I think criminals are going to like this one a lot.
Well, specifically talking about criminals, what happens when you put Kingpin on the middle point? How do you combat that? You have to send 3 characters at him just to tie him, basically. Because he's going to throw one of them off the point, at minimum, basically. He's not going to die, and he's going to count as 2 people. So you have to spend 3 characters just contesting Kingpin, while he's going wide everywhere else. And so that you basically have to just concede whatever point Kingpin's on. And then think about it, like the combat of, like, we just talked about efficient ranged models shooting from one point to another. It's really hard to get damage through, except for somebody who can just choose to do 1 damage if they get blocked, right?
Right.
And so Bullseye's back there just auto-plinking people while actually being very defensive. You actually shoot him, he gets free cover, and then parting shots you for another free damage.
Yeah, also
to
you
be
got
very annoying.
Yeah, and criminals also has the ability to, somebody goes, okay, I'm just going to double move into the criminals. We're like, okay, cool. Well, you're not taking the point this turn. I guess next turn I have to deal with you, but not in this turn. So there's a lot of there are a few characters in the game that'll be able to move, just use 1 move action to move from one to the other. But I think this is going to be a really interesting.
I think it's this one's about first turn.
I think it'll be fine
when it comes to criminals. Like, criminals are going to get you 5-0 on this one first turn. Like, there's not a lot you can do about it first turn.
Maybe not first turn, but it depends. It depends on if you're prepared for it, because it depends on what your first activations are. Because you gotta remember, every time you move a model, they just counter move you. It's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna move this guy up onto this point. I move a guy over there. Well, if your next move is to move up a guy and contest that same point, then I can go hold one of my defensive points and then let you go again. It's like, well, if you move a 3rd guy to that point to try and take it, I just move a 2nd model there, and you're 2 behind again. And so it's just like, what, do you keep doing this, or do you spread out? And if you spread out, they just put 1 guy on every point you put a guy on.
This is a tough one.
And so
I don't know.
Without board manipulation, they just beat you, because they have the same number of people, but they count as 2, and nobody's making attacks because everybody's double moving.
Also, most of the time, board manipulation happens on 2nd turn. Like, first turn, trying to get any manipulation is like impossible. It's
even
really
sure
tough.
It's like, I move once and shoot once. You're like, I control 1 person. You're like, okay, like whatever.
It's a brutal first turn. Like, you got to be ready.
It takes some actual thought. And so the first time you walk into it, you're gonna be like, well, this is fucking stupid. And so you got to come up with like special ways to get around it. And I don't think people are gonna be ready for it.
Do you have to be a long mover to get all the way to the other side, the other F?
No.
Mediums can get all the way to the other F?
Hold on. If you're directly across from it, I think you can.
Be a medium? I don't know.
Yeah.
Seems like you can.
It's been too long. I can't remember. I know you have to be a long mover to get to the defensive point on, like, the Echo deployment. Because a long move gets you to the center in 1 move if you're a medium base.
Right.
So medium, or medium small. No, actually, I don't think they can. They can't get to the back point. They're just short.
What about, there's a lot of medium, bigger bases for criminals too, like somebody like
Carnage. So like Carnage could get there.
Carnage and Green Goblin is a criminal. Like there's some they could just go there.
But I think,
they cost 4. That's not what you want.
You could do Sabretooth as well.
That's true.
But you have Black Cat in faction. Who else do they have?
Oh man, Sabretooth is such a bitch. When you shoot at him, he's going to get cover. If you do 1 damage to him, he's just going to go right back to it. That is pretty fun.
Yeah, I don't see anyone that you'd want to take that's a long mover other than Black Cat. But you do like Black Cat and Quicksilver just for maximum scenario play. And then you probably throw in, what's her face? Shuri as well, just in the roster. I don't know if you play her all the time. But like, how do you beat go wide criminals when they have Shuri in the backfield? Like, I don't even understand like how you even compete with that kind of numbers.
Yeah.
Anyway. So yeah, I think this would be a really impactful mission. I think people should avoid playing with it because I think it's a trap unless you're trying to abuse it yourself. Well, I guess that's not true. You should definitely play it because you need the practice, but don't play it if you like are just throwing it around, not thinking about it.
Yeah, I rescind my earlier comment about it being just fine. I think it's actually very, very abusable because it's an F. Because it's an F. That's the reason the F is. Big deal.
Exactly.
Yep. So. In other news, we've got Juggernaut's Tactics cards, and I think we knew of these already, right? We were pretty confident about these so far. Versatile Strategy being one of them. We knew that one before. That's the one where you should trade that. I'm pretty sure we knew the Do You Know Who I Am? Yeah, that's his big ass throw. So we can spend 3 to move a terrain feature or character size 4 or less. Long. He's got his long throw card, which is hilarious.
Yeah, but it's up to size 4. He can't normally throw size 4.
Right, he cannot.
So that's big.
Also, you can do it on his front side because it only has it on his back side. So it's it is a big deal because you don't have to wait for him to be on his injured side, and throwing long is awesome.
Also, Juggernaut's always going to be able to play this because if he starts his activation with 1 on the power-up, he's going to move and get up to 3. But he can also just move again and then throw something. Like, this is going to make him very efficient at playing this card.
Right. If you're playing Juggernaut and you're not playing this card, you had to have a damn good reason not to, I think.
Yeah.
And finally, making a ruckus, which I don't think we had before.
I don't remember it.
It's unaffiliated, but it's about Juggernaut. When another allied character within 3 of an allied Juggernaut is targeted by an attack, that allied Juggernaut may spend 3 to play this card. After the attack is resolved, Juggernaut may advance short towards the attacking character and make a strike attack targeting it. So it's not a protect, it's a interrupt and attack somebody who's attacked a friendly.
So, important points, he doesn't trigger his passive ability that gives him the extra dice off of this. But he does still have the wild push on his strike attack, and it's a 5-dice builder. I think it's mostly going to be used to reposition Juggernaut. Like, if they somehow, like, get him off of a point with, like, Cosmic Portal or something, then you're like, oh, okay, well, you attack somebody, so, making a ruckus and just walk back on the point. And that's going to be hard to stop, because he then still can't be moved. I like it. It's not bad.
I think this is a cuttable one. I think this is the one between the two. This is the one that is a nice to have, maybe, but it's hard to see this making a 10. So are we ready for my favorite news? Are we ready for the next one? Is that all we want to say about Juggernaut's cards?
I will say that I think they're important cards. I think that they're going to be impactful when playing him. But yeah, I'm not. The second one is obviously very niche, but especially when potentially Asteroid M is available. But obviously, Do You Know Who I Am is going to be played a lot. So.
Yeah, I think it's one of those. It's really interesting. There's a couple. Is it just because there's 10 tax cards now? That's got to be it. There's a couple cards out right now. They're like, I don't know how that ever would have made it when there was 8 cards, but now that there's 10, you see it happening into the roster, and so you actually get to see it played on the table fairly often. I'm thinking like
also more cards have been restricted and banned, so some of those like obvious includes are now not available. So
yeah, hey, look, if you take out the outliers in the meta, people play things that are interesting.
Other stuff.
Yeah,
weird.
Who knew?
All right, so I think that's the last of the news, right, Jeremy? I think we're ready to move on.
No,
let's do it.
Next topic.
No.
Okay. So next topic is going to be currently playing.
No,
Jeremy. All right, fine.
My favorite sisters are coming to the game. I'm so excited. X23 and Honey Badger are coming in. So we have X23's front side and Honey Badger's front side. They are Wolverine types, so we don't know if they are very different on the back side like Wolverine is or not. But on their front side, we know them. So let's start with X23, Laura Kinney. She is 5 health, medium mover, size 2, And 3 cost, she has 3 physical defense, 3 energy, and only 2 mystic, just like her clone Logan. She has a range 2 adamantium slash, which is 5 dice basic that gains power for every damage dealt, and has wild bleed and wild pierce.
Wow, who would have guessed that?
Who would have guessed?
It's very strange.
Yep, it's that's identical. Yeah, it's identical too.
Groundbreaking.
Yep.
Groundbreaking.
She also has Claw Rush, which is a range 3, 6 dice, only cost 2 cost spender. After this attack is resolved, this character may advance medium and pierce on a wild. So this one's very similar to Zemo's spender, right? It lets him move medium and cost 2.
Very similar to Zemo's.
Yeah. So we want to talk about her stats and her attacks real fast, or you want to keep going?
No, I think you can go ahead. This is not very complicated so far.
Right. So she does have a 2 cost power called Frenzy. If this character dazes or KOs an enemy character with an attack during activation, she may use it. After the attack is resolved, the character advances short, then makes an adamantium slash, only once per turn. So basically, it's a 2 cost version of Paint the Town Red from Carnage.
Does not heal her, but
does not
it's
heal her.
It's was the Angela one called? It's the same as Angel's, like Angel's Wrath or something.
That's right. Yes, it is the same as Angela. You are correct. I forgot that Angela has that too because I never get to play her.
Got my 56k download speed working at its best right now. Angelic Assassin. Yeah, it's identical to an Angelic Assassin.
Yeah,
because it makes her use her basic attack.
Mm-hmm. She also has a passive, Adamantium Skeleton, which is the same as Wolverine's. She counts as a size 3 for the purposes of throwing and being thrown. She has Assassin Training passive, which reroll 1 dice on attack and defense rolls. And then Big Sis, which is the passive, which requires Gabriel, Honey Badger, to be around. But if an allied Gabriel Kinney within range 3 of the character is damaged by an enemy effect, after the effect is resolved, Laura can move medium towards the character that damaged Gabriel. This character may move only once per turn as a result of the superpower. And then she has also Healing Factor 2, just like her clone.
I think this is a very aggressively costed combat model. The big thing here is that she doesn't have a charge mechanic. Mm-hmm. Sure, her maximum threat is range 3 without moving. Now that said, if she gets within range 3 of somebody, she can kick off a nice little chain of events. Very good. She's very, very efficient. I wouldn't be surprised if her backside was weaker, because this is very strong for 3 points.
I think the big balancing fact is that she has 5 health, so it's not that she can't go down, but if she doesn't go down, if you roll 2 blocks,
I'm not even counting healing factor into this. She's just very aggressively costed.
Yes,
she has the best strike in the game on a 3-pointer.
That's a really good challenge. Maybe.
Sorry, not counting Shuri.
I was gonna say. No, Ant-Man's is probably not better.
No, I would much rather have range 2 5 dice bleed and pierce.
Yeah.
Than 6 dice builder.
Yeah, but it's 6 dice. But bleed and pierce was on a wild, so if you don't roll a wild, it is worse.
Sure. But she also has an innate reroll,
right? And she can play with can play with X-Force. Probably
she hits harder than Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this character is very aggressively costed. I think.
I like her a whole lot. I really like. I also love Frenzy. I think they did a really good job of translating her character from the comics into this. That's my favorite part of this game. Is she's supposed to be a little, blender, right? You just throw under way too many guys, and she just doesn't quit. She just keeps blending and blending and blending and blending. And that's what she'll do on the board too.
Yeah, I would guess I would just say if this character had 1 more hit point and a charge mechanic, she'd easily be a 4-pointer. We have a lot of 4-pointers in this game, a lot that aren't that good, and so yeah, she's very aggressive. That's why I'm saying if on the backside she has 4 health or something, or I don't know, loses her reroll or something, I would not be surprised. I'm worried that she's actually going to be better on the backside, which is going to fucking annoy the shit out of me. Because also keep in mind that she has access to exceptional healing, because she has healing factor.
Mm-hmm.
And so this character is not easy to remove in any way.
Yeah, I'm shocked she has healing factor 2. That to me is the kick in the pants.
Yeah. I don't know that it really matters because, like he was saying, her health pool's low enough that it's very rarely going to actually matter.
Yeah,
it is annoying.
Just ask Deadpool. Deadpool dies like a bitch constantly with a defensive reroll and healing factor 2. It really only matters on Wolverine because Wolverine's 7 health. That's when it matters because you will actually get to use it probably more than once.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, very good. Very, very good. She's going to get she's the new Valkyrie, basically. Like, if you just want a combat monster, she's the add-in automatic.
She doesn't have a throw, though. I mean, there isn't any.
No, yeah. So Valkyrie has moved into more of the hybrid role because she kind of was before because she was super overtuned. But, like, yeah, she doesn't have board control, but she has kill. Like, if you want a 3-point combat model, she's the automatic add-in.
Oh man, that's a blanket statement.
Unless you need something very specific, and then you can start having a conversation. Nobody punches as good as she does for 3 points.
Man, the statement you just made. I'm looking at all the 3-pointers right now, trying to find.
She has Berserk. Like, what are we talking about here? How many other models can kill 3 people in a turn for 3 points?
How's she killing? Oh, you mean like if she one hits every person she
can claw rush for 2. Kill somebody, move medium, pay 2, move short, and attack again, and then take her second action.
No, That's
2 attacks, 2 moves for 4 power.
I'm very interested in her in Steve Avengers. Like, she can just fucking do all this shit for nothing.
Yeah.
Well, you don't need Steve Avengers. You don't...
Imagine putting her in Spider Foes or X-Force.
Yeah.
Like Spider Foes. Yeah. So by the way, here's my 5 attack dice, 6 attack dice with Pierce. I get a reroll. By the way, I'm canceling one of your blocks and make you reroll a second. Who's living through this? This is nuts. Mm-hmm. And that's going to trigger my frenzy. So now I get to move and attack again. Mm-hmm. Are you excited about this? Like, that's crazy.
Right. I think She'll almost definitely be in X-Force also, so if you wanted more cheap affiliation X-Force characters, then she's also really strong in X-Force, getting a reroll. Because the reroll lets her fish even for the pierce or the bleed, which makes it more effective than just getting a hit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you look up and they're like, oh, you're already like blocking me, I'll just reroll this hit. Like if you roll like skull hit, you'll just reroll one of the hits trying to get a wild. Who the fuck cares what the other thing is?
She won't. I don't think she needs power. Like the Steve sounds fine, but I don't think she needs power. She doesn't need to do frenzy for 1. She'll already have it. It's good.
Did you say Steve or Sam? I thought you said Sam.
No, I said Steve because I was looking at Claw Rush and Frenzy. I mean, being able to do all that stuff for 1 seems insane.
Well, it doesn't discount Claw Rush. It doesn't discount
Claw.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
But so if you're adamantium, but the thing, you're only getting 1 more die for Claw Rush, and so the concept of Frenzy is you don't need the move off of Claw Rush anyway unless you're retreating, and so you just hit him with the Strike, which is a builder. You're going to daze them, which means you're getting at least 1 back. So if you powered up, you're frenzying automatically. Then you hit somebody else. Like it just feeds into itself real quick.
She is definitely the one that has to die first, right? Like, she's become that model.
Yeah, she has the threat of a 4-point model in damage easily. Now, she is on a fairly flimsy frame. Like, just healing factor and 1 defensive reroll. While being good is not insurmountable by any means, she can easily just randomly fall down.
And she has to be... Yeah, and she can go and get you. If she has 2 power, she can move, claw rush, and she's not going to have enough for frenzy at that point. So, like, she's not going to be able to... She's not going to be extremely proactive, I think. People are going to have... For her to really go off like a monster, people are going to have to walk within 3 of her while she's, like, just standing there with 4 power, and then she'll feel like a monster. But she's not super proactive. I don't think you'll see her... Not like Wolverine, where Wolverine feels like he can just, from start, go, oh, no, that's what it was. Oh, what am I thinking? You just do no matter the cost. It's a free claw rush if you have no matter the cost. If you want to do it.
I don't think she'll ever need that much power.
Right. I'm saying if you want to be proactive. If you're like, I really want to be proactive with X-23. And I don't think you would do it unless you were also playing X-Force because you have several other characters that could use it some other time, perhaps. Sure. But speaking of other characters that could use it, let's shift
if only this random character had 2 power and you're like, oh wait, they can just get that.
Yeah. Because you can do it for free. it will attack this card. But
no, I just meant that like it's very easy to get 2 power.
Yeah. So Honey Badger, her little sister / clone, is 5 health, move medium, size 2, and 2 cost. She is a 3 physical, 2 energy, 2 mystic. She also has Claw Slash. Her Claw Slash is also a range 2, 5 dice builder, and doesn't have Pierce on a wild, but does have Bleed on a wild. And then her spender is Hamstring, which is also range 2, also 5 dice. It costs 3. If this attack deals damage after the attack is resolved, the target character gains slow and bleed. And it has wild elusive. After the attack is resolved, the character may advance medium. So it's similar to Claw Rush, only shorter range and doesn't get to move unless it's a wild. And
not having Pierce is pretty big.
Not having Pierce. So she has a lot lower damage cap on her attacks, but she rolls 5 dice on her basic.
So this is what really surprised me is this next part.
Yeah. Too dangerous to ignore. It is
same rule as Luke Cage.
Yeah. When an enemy character within 2 of this character targets another ally, she becomes the target of the attack. So it's the same as Luke Cage and Black Dwarf. Black Dwarf has this as well. So she is a pseudo protector. She also has a passive called Ankle Biter. This character cannot contest, interact with, or hold objective tokens. Additionally, when an enemy character within 1 of this character is attacked by another allied character, the enemy character rolls 1 less defense dice. So
she pseudo incinerates you.
Yeah. And then she also has Little Sis, which is the other version of Big Sis. If you attack Laura, X23, within 3 of her, then she can move medium towards the character's damage, immediately activating Ankle Biter. There you go. And she has Healing Factor 1.
I don't know if I've processed this yet. She seems fucking crazy for 2 points. So if you play like demons and somebody moves up and contests one of the points and gets themselves incinerated, you then just run up Honey Badger, and now they're rolling 2 less defense dice. And so basically the vast majority of the game is now rolling 1 defense dice against your Pierce army. It's also, like, goddamn.
Also, if they attack X23, then you don't even have to spend you don't even have to spend the activation. She just moves up close to the thing you want to kill and just kill it. Like it's
yeah.
Yeah. She's definitely she's definitely going to get dazed, I think. What's awesome about, I think, the pair of them is you want to get both of them down, and you can't. So you're not going to be able to get both of them down fast enough. That's how I think how they work. I think X23 is great by yourself. I don't know if you take Honey Badger by yourself. Do you take Honey Badger by yourself? Like if you're really excited to lower that defense dice?
Yeah, I think she'll get played without her. But it's just like combat lists that need a 2-point drop in. It's just her and Nebula.
It's very hard to say it's cool to play a model that can't score. Like I don't. That's a tough sell.
No, it's a big question. But I mean, I think because it's really just Nebula and Honey Badger are fighting for the spot, right? Yeah. So I don't know that you're ever taking both of them. That seems like a trap.
Right.
But she turns on the rest of your list potentially.
And dropping somebody's dice is just dropping somebody's opportunity to defend, not eliminating one of their defenses. It's not like Pierce, because Pierce actually says, "Oh, you rolled that, but you don't get it." This is just limiting the possibility of it, and so it lowers
their potential to spike, which is usually what flubs up your attacks.
Right.
Like, yeah, obviously Incinerate is... Because you have to think about it in reverse, though, because obviously gaining a defense die is less efficient than you making them lose a defense die. Because you're lowering the percentage by a greater margin. Because going from 3 to 4 is like a 25% difference in the total. Going from 3 to 2 is a 30% difference in the total. Because you're taking away larger proportions of the defense. And if you go another tick down from 3 to 1, you're reducing them by 2/3. That's way more impactful than gaining 1 defense die.
I see your point.
Yeah. And so it's one of those like, well, if I gain 5% defense, it's not a big change. Well, if you were reducing damage by 90% and you're increasing that to 95%, that's a 50% damage mitigation. And so you have to look at it like that. What percentage of the defense am I removing? Mm-hmm. And so if you can line up Incinerate, if only X-Force had a way to incinerate people.
Or, yeah, Domino's an X-Men also. So they'll likely be an X-Men, also likely X-Force.
Doesn't freaking Cable also incinerate people?
Yes.
On a wild, yep.
Yeah. So you have 2 people handing out Incinerate, and then you have Ankle Biter running around all over the place for free. Mm-hmm. That's also lowering defense. And then everyone in your fucking list basically has Pierce anyway, and you get to reroll your attack dice. This compounding negatives is not nothing. Like, the odds of somebody defending against a -2 defense reroll an offense die and has Pierce, what's the odds they get a block? Basically none. You're basically doing true damage automatically. Whatever you roll, they take, which is huge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love me some X-Force, and I love these characters. I will be jumping hard back on X-Force when these guys come out. Real hard. Very excited.
I like that they stuck with the attacking your feet joke throughout her entire kit.
Yeah.
It's like short people joke, little sis, hamstring, and ankle biter all on one card.
Yeah.
They did it. Congrats.
All right. Well, that's my thoughts on these people. I think this puts them back in the conversation over the top of Spider Foes. They do it in a different enough way now. I think it's actually a conversation.
Yeah, 100%. I think X-Force also... after playing X-Force a while, I can tell you that they didn't have... Domino was a good 3-pointer, not gonna lie, because she's always just kind of good, but that she actually was kind of a wild card. Everybody else is doing very, very consistent things that you'd like to have, and they're working together.
She's doing somewhere between 2 and 10.
Right. And then Domino was the one who would just be like, hi, I'm going to show up and just do 7 damage out of nowhere. It doesn't really matter that I'm in this list or not. I'm just going to do it, I guess. And X-23 and Honey Badger are not that. They're actually, I'm going to do exactly what this list likes to do. Dropping your defense with Cable, basically. Softening you up with Cable, and then eliminating you with really hard-hitting melee models that are tougher than they look. And using really efficient cards that they like to use, like No Matter the Cost. I love No Matter the Cost, and nobody can tell me different because in that
I
list...
like No Matter the Cost as well. I'm the one that told you about it.
I know.
But yeah, I don't think it's always the right call. But
No.
I think it definitely has a lot of potential, specifically with this affiliation.
Right, that's what I mean. It's not a good card in general, but in affiliation where everybody has Healing Factor, you love those Healing Factor type cards, the cards that can abuse it. And there are also so many things in the game that make you take 1 damage for doing something, and so they don't care.
I do want to say there's one thing that I don't even think you've talked about the most impactful thing about this release for X-Force. And that's that X-Force was very points inflexible before.
Yes.
They were very hard to play at odd point totals. Like if 19 was perfect, anything outside of 19, the list had way less teeth.
Yep.
This will go a long way towards fixing that, and I don't think Spider Foes are there yet.
Nope.
Almost all of their characters are 4 points, just like X-Force. They have very little flexibility.
That was the next thing I was going to say. Because Domino is a 3-pointer you put in the list to make it kind of level out, but if they ever made you take not 19 points, you had to just take off one of the characters that really synergized well with your list to put in some other offensive character. But now, with these 2, you'll be able to do anything you want. Oh, this will be so good. I'll love it so much. I'll never have to worry. I'll never have to think. Just play Wolverine. Just play Models with Claws Go and Cable.
Jeremy, I know you were also looking at playing X-Force recently. How do you feel about this?
I have feelings about those 2. I but most of them are just fluff feelings. I've been a Wolverine fan forever. Like, I collected Wolverine 1 through 100 back in the time, and I am over these 2 fucking models. I don't think that 2 claw is a thing. I don't think that 1 claw is a thing. It's a personal thing. I just don't give a fuck about either of them.
I mean, X-23 has 3 claws on each side. They're
cool.
Just not on the same appendage.
Oh yeah, it's got some. She's got some on her fucking foot. Whatever that is, I am not buying it.
She can open your beer with her foot.
I'll buy the models. I'll play the models. I just can't. I'm just not passionate about either of them. I do like the fact that you get a 3-point model and a 2-point model to wedge into X-Force to create some like dynamics in the list because it is fucked up right now. So I'll take that. That's fine.
Yeah.
And they're good.
I like that you and Parker are like two sides of a very different coin.
I know.
Parker's like rubbing his face, like, yes. And then Jeremy's like, I literally could not give a fuck.
I don't judge certain peoples that are near the coastline. But Parker is hateful towards them. Do you mean that? Do you mean his hatred towards Cajuns and all those?
Yeah. Jesus. Well, specifically anyone who lives in the Deep South.
Yeah. Deep South. I gotcha.
I hate Deep South. I hate Deep South caricatures. That's what I don't like. That's what I don't like. I don't like caricatures of people that really exist.
Parker, they are caricatures. We just like to make fun of them. You're gonna tell me you've never pulled up to a convenience store / gas station / come and go, and there's a guy sitting outside in a rocking chair and a straw hat, like, how you doing? And he's selling boiled peanuts. You're telling me that has never happened to you?
Wait, where is this?
Everywhere in the South.
Oh,
boiled peanuts. Exactly.
It's funny that you say that because in Louisiana, it's not that. In Louisiana, it's a gas station / shrimp boil /
that's right. / bait shop.
Yeah, / bait shop. That's what it is. And when you go inside, there is a full kitchen, like a full kitchen, like they have like Quick Trips here, but they only serve fried chicken and like fried boudin and like really weird shit. You're like, why is this in a Sinclair's? Like, why is this here? I don't get it. That's
Sinclair's.
Yeah, that's what
I lived in Alabama for like a year and a half, and I think every single establishment that traded money for goods sold boiled peanuts, like every single one of them. I was like, it's like, this is a post office. You're like, yeah, we want some boiled peanuts. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
Yep. Some people.
It's like, I have never once purchased peanuts, let alone wanted them, and never once have they been boiled. Like you boil things to take the flavor out of it, and they were already peanuts.
Honestly, so you drive around Florida, and everyone who goes and does the Florida trip for vacation, you drive around Florida and you go, all right, I don't know what it is about these fuckers and their boiled peanuts, but I ain't eating them.
I know, right?
Then you drive further and you're like, God damn, there sure is a lot of boiled peanuts. And you're like, I'm still not going to really, they can't be good, right? And then you go a little bit further and there's some guy selling boiled peanuts. And you're like, you know what? Fuck it. $5, give me a bag of boiled peanuts. And you eat them and you spit them out and throw them in the trash because they're exactly as you imagined. They're eating fucking
like
wet
flavorless
cardboard.
mush.
It's garbage. Absolutely. And you're like, you fucking trashy motherfucker.
I'm glad I didn't miss anything. I didn't want to get the tetanus or the fucking hepatitis, so I didn't buy any.
No, here's some soft bark to eat.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
I boiled this tree bark in fucking mineral water. Does it taste good?
That's super gross.
It's terrible.
Oh my god. I am crying. Okay. Anyway. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Back to news. Oh my god, we're never going to get through this. We've been in news for almost
We're not done with the news.
It's Christmas.
We're not done. It's Christmas. Okay, last news. The Netherlands.
This is actually news. This is actually news.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The Netherlands. The Netherlands done fucked up, or, gave us a boon, depending upon how you look at it. But somebody in the Netherlands decided to post in a retail store from about Atomic Mass Games that they are going to sell very soon. They're really excited to sell these two things that AMG definitely did not want posted.
So basically what happened here is the AMG Dutch website posted this early, and somebody screenshotted it.
Yeah.
So, Parker, do you have the actual original stuff?
I have the screenshot.
Or do you just have what I posted?
I have what you posted. Is there more somewhere?
Oh, I probably should have pulled that up beforehand.
But while you're doing that, I'll go ahead and tell you what the post was. So what we know is there's going to be two releases coming out. One of them is called Marvel Crisis Protocol, Nick Fury Jr. and S.H.I.E.L.D. Agents. And then Marvel Crisis Protocol, Shadowland Daredevil, and Elektra Ninjas. So for those of you who do not know this, Nick Fury Jr. was actually if you look there, like, Nick Fury Jr., is this some sort of weird, like, little kid Nick Fury or something? Like, no. So Nick Fury Jr. was the primary Marvel 616's universe's, like, excuse to get the Ultimates universe, Sam Jackson, Nick Fury, into the primary universe, basically. So the Nick Fury that we are introduced to in the MCU is 100% the Nick Fury from the Ultimates universe. And they even make a joke in that comic book that they're going to make a movie. And he's like, "Who's going to play you, Nick?" And he's like, "Samuel L. Jackson, of course." Like, because it's 100%. It's they drew Samuel L. Jackson onto a comic book page. If you've never read an Ultimates comic, it is exactly Samuel L. Jackson, not even sort of maybe somebody else. And and he talks like Samuel L. Jackson, and he acts like Samuel L. Jackson if he was the leader of S.H.I.E.L.D. So they wanted that character to also exist in the primary Marvel Universe. So they had the original Nick Fury goes off and does something else. Spoiler alert, he becomes the Watcher. Find out, you can read more about that if you want to, but he also does something else. So who's going to run S.H.I.E.L.D. but his son that we never knew about until this moment, and he just so happens to be Samuel L. Jackson, also Nick Fury. So that is Nick Fury Jr. That's why the Jr. is on the end of Nick Fury, for those of you who do not know. Shadowlands Daredevil is the from the Shadowlands event. It wasn't like entirely cross Marvel, but a lot of the urban Marvel titles like the Defenders and Secret Avengers and those kind of titles were all focused on this. Basically, Daredevil becomes the leader of the Hand for a while, and he tries to use the Hand for good purposes and try to basically create a small kingdom called the Shadowland in Hell's Kitchen, New York, and tries to use all these incredibly evil resources to do good things, but of course is corrupted by them. And then Elektra has to do kind of a swap from her usual, will they, won't they be a bad guy thing to fight him, and there's a plot that evolves from there. But apparently the next Daredevil model will be the Shadowland one, and he apparently there's something called Elektra Ninjas comes with it. And then, of course, S.H.I.E.L.D. agents come with Nick Fury Jr. And so, Brandon, does the other information you found, does this confirm what the Elektra Ninjas and the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents are? Because the fact that it comes
They do not confirm. So the what was spoiled was the retail blurb. So this is basically, although actually what I'm seeing here, it looks like this was stuff that was posted on the Amazon website. Not the Asmodee website, the Amazon website. So someone... basically Asmodee or somebody that was trying to sell Asmodee stuff, like one of the distributor level people, posted basically pre-purchase items, and the blurb is this is not the one I initially found. There was one that had more information. Unfortunately, I can't seem to find it. It's been buried in Twitter, but yeah, so looking at the original thing here, there's some discussion about it. Damn. Says it's going to be out 11/3 of 22, but that's obviously a rough date. Somebody was confirming in the previous post. I wish I had saved it. Maybe I can just hashtag Atomic Mass. But anyway, somebody had explained that there was actually some clarification given in the post where they said that minion type characters will contest objectives as if they were injured and stuff like that. But I can't find the original post anymore. Damn. But anyway, yeah. So we don't have a lot of information right now. It's a lot of hearsay stuff going back and forth. But we do know for a fact they're coming out with unnamed characters, which we thought they were not going to do.
Mm-hmm. Do we know if they're models or tokens?
We do not. One guy in the original post I remember talked about there being 3 of them on a base, and it was going to be like a medium base with 3 little guys on it, and they're going to operate like their equivalent of a squad of S.H.I.E.L.D. agents or a squad of ninjas or something.
Mm.
And so, but they have a stat line, which is basically why they're so powerful to the point where they would be even register in the game with the stat line. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. So it's coming with 2 of them. But we don't know if they come as a group or they're models you can play by themselves. That's interesting.
No. From what I've heard, it's going to be like a package deal. Like if you want to play Nick Fury Jr. and the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, it's going to be 4 points, and you're going to get everything in the box is going to come in that package.
I see. So it's not going to be. It's not like Black Cat and Amazing Spider-Man where you got to pick whatever you want.
No. Yeah, it's like a unit basically. It's like when you deploy, he'll have a rule like leader or team leader or something, and it'll be like when you deploy Nick Fury Jr., also deploy one group of agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or something.
Yeah,
and you'll put them down, and they'll have rules.
Hopefully they're both leaders. I mean, Nick Fury obviously is of S.H.I.E.L.D., but it'd be great to see them as leaders.
Yeah, I was already surprised Daredevil wasn't a leader of Defenders, and I understand that it's supposed to be Shadowlands Daredevil, but I don't know if Shadowlands Daredevil still like works in New York.
He does,
or if he does. Okay, so maybe he'll be either leader Defenders or he'll have his own Shadowlands affiliation that will be like Elektra and all them.
I bet. Also, this is Elektra Ninjas, which I think is kind of interesting. I don't know enough about the Shadowlands story to know why they're called Elektra Ninjas and not like Hand Ninjas. That kind of confused me. Maybe.
Well, I think it's Elektra and Ninjas, but it's Dutch, so it's like translated. I don't know if it carries well. Let me look at
Interesting.
But that was the impression I got was, and Elektra Ninjas. I don't know. Maybe she has like her own cult or something. I don't know. It's Elektra. Yeah. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like, honestly, who cares?
Right.
Jennifer Gardner. God damn it.
I mean, Jennifer Gardner did fine, but she was trying to portray a horrible character. Now, you want to talk about Disney whitewashing? Like, holy shit.
What, isn't Jennifer Gardner Asian? Like, I thought.
Yeah.
I thought she was. Yeah. She's a ninja. Like.
Mm-hmm. At any rate, I think he could definitely be Defender's leader. Like, really, really easy. Like, very, very easy to be a Defender's leader.
Yeah, exactly. I was actually surprised that he isn't already. I was talking with somebody, they're like, why isn't Luke Cage a Defender's leader? I was like, well, I think Daredevil would be first. Like, it was my first instinct. I didn't even think about it.
Right. Now, Luke is a leader for, like, the Secret Avengers and stuff like that, so he could have been also.
He's a leader type, but when I think of who leads the Defenders, or, like, who's, like, the first person you think about, it's like, well, obviously, it's, Daredevil.
Also, Daredevil... It makes sense, because when he was Shadowland Daredevil, like, he was the leader of the Hand, and he was running a chunk of New York as the Shadowland. Like, he was very much, he was a kingmaker. Mm-hmm. Who would if they do put, I wonder if Nick Fury Jr. will not be a leader. I actually would be very surprised if he's a leader.
I would as well. I think it's going to be like little tiny baby faction almost. Like, he's going to be the leader of the squad, but he's not going to actually lead anything.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to have a leadership ability. I'm trying to think of who it would be. Not Avengers, I think.
They could do a S.H.I.E.L.D. affiliation. It could be like Black Widow, Hawkeye, Cap. There's enough, I think. Not to mention, they could release like Maria Hill and stuff.
The only thing, they could do a S.H.I.E.L.D. one, but they didn't do a Hydra one, and they already have like 8 Hydra people, so I think it's unlikely they do. If
they haven't done Hydra yet.
Yeah. Now I'm thinking about who in this game could be part of a S.H.I.E.L.D. team. Iron Man could. He led S.H.I.E.L.D. for a while.
That's true.
She-Hulk definitely is a member of S.H.I.E.L.D. for a bit. War Machine, obviously, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, the important thing here is that there's a strong base already. Like,
right.
X-Force had like 5 characters in it for a long time. Like, it wouldn't be hard to get it started, and then you just release more people.
Asgard will always have 6 characters.
I think we're gonna see an Asgard update that no one's expecting in like 3 or 4 months. I think we're gonna get like Sif and the Warriors 3, and it's gonna shake them up.
I bet Asgard stays exactly that way forever because they go, oh, it's too strong. We can't possibly do more Asgardians.
I mean, if they want to do strong, they could do Odin. You could also do Heimdall. Heimdall's not out either. Dude, come on. Like, think of like all the obscure, like Viper's in the game and Heimdall isn't. Like, are you serious?
No, Brady, you don't understand. Viper is a serious model in the Marvel universe.
Yeah. Serious, important, integral, like game-changing, meta-bending.
Who's even heard of Loki?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, at least Loki is in the game.
Yeah,
but yeah, Heimdall.
Who's
Heimdall and Sif not being in the game is actually kind of like before Angela. Like, is kind of confusing, honestly.
Yeah,
I was happy we got Enchantress. I thought that was the obvious next go, but I was surprised about Angela.
Also, the model we should have, the model I want, this is the model I need. Beta Ray Bill. That's the Asgardian we all deserve. Because he's a huge fan favorite, an enormous fan favorite. Like, he needs to be. Honestly, I think they should
better be on your list. This better be on your list, man. You better make some updates.
Okay.
All right. So, Asgardians that they could add just right off the top of your head that could be super fun and cool. Heimdall, Sif, Beta Ray Bill, the Warriors 3, I think they could even do the Destroyer, and that could be fun.
Odin,
and that's just like baseline. Not to mention they could do Odin and Freya.
Yeah,
but like, come on, man! There's so many cool things they could do.
Mm-hmm. Baldur, of course, Baldur.
I don't know Baldur the character. I know of the Baldur character.
Mm-hmm. He's a big deal in the comics.
I bet he had a gate.
You're right.
My God,
he did.
Okay, I think we finally beat news to death.
Yeah,
news, Christmas news.
We did it.
Christmas news.
Back to news. Okay. Currently playing, I guess I'll just jump into this. Parker has written here, Brandon is gleaming the cube for Sam Spam. I don't know what that means.
It means you're seeing through the initial. They're like, this thing is broken. It's super busted. Ugh. And now you're understanding. You're understanding where the dark corners of this room are, where the deep in the shadows recesses. You can see them. You can feel them with your fingertips. You
can play characters as terrible as Ant-Man and get free wins with Sam Spam. I have played 3 games with Sam Spam. I played against Convocation twice, which admittedly I think is a bad matchup for Convocation, but I think that's true of most affiliations. And my opponent is still learning, but I'm also kind of still learning Sam, even though it's a pretty straightforward list. And I've also played against Spider Foes, and I think if we played that game again, it'd be a lot closer. But yeah, it was. I haven't even gotten close to like a loss yet. Like, it's been very easy wins, even though I think in most of my games I was outrolled by my opponent. It just didn't matter in the slightest. So yeah, Sam is good, as we expected. Oh my god, if this new mission comes out soon, oh my god, it's gonna be so frustrating. But yeah, I think the biggest problem with Sam is just that you shouldn't have the 3-pointers that all have physical 4 and damage reduction, and it's just too much. Like, it's just a wall of beef, and then you don't really do anything. You just stand there.
They also made Iron Man a little bit better, which is kind of crazy. You just add him
Swung it a lot.
Yeah, add him right in.
A lot. And part of me is wondering, because, like, obviously we were just talking about how X-Force had been completely left behind by Spider Foes, but then we see a one-box expansion, and we're like, oh no, X-Force is back on the map. So I don't know if they're just playing, 6 layers ahead, and we just don't know why it feels broken right now. I'm sure we'll get some, because all we need is one thing to keep it in check, and it will go back to fair, and so we just gotta wait for that to happen. But yeah, I'm still playing Sam. They're still quite good. Who's up next? Parker? I know you're excited.
So I have this dream of getting to play this list I talked about last cast, and I keep showing up at the game store, and no one is there for me to play, and so I'm chomping now at the bit. I did go to the game store, and all I did was build lists, and so now I have like 4 lists in the hopper to play, but I can't play any of them yet. So I just need to play. Listeners, if you want to play, just DM this shit. I want to play.
Yeah.
So
I know, just real quick, with 2 of our regulars have been out lately. So and also there were people there to play. You just missed them. Yeah, you showed up late.
Oh no, I'm bullshitting. That most of it.
Just clarifying, we do have people show up to our game night.
Yeah. It has not been a ghost town. When I show up, it's like everybody's playing their second game. They're tired. Like, we don't want to play at 8:30. I get it. Or it's also holiday season. This is always the time of year where it's tough to find everybody who always shows up because they're busy doing other things. I understand that. I'm mostly just sad because I want to know if this is totally a pipe dream, this meme list of mine, or if it actually has legs.
Do you want to just run through it, not through the list, but just the concept real quick?
Yeah, so the concept is, I'm calling the list right now, in its current form, Million Cuts, because basically it's almost everybody has rapid fire, and a way to do at least 2 damage, just automatic. So it's tons of automatic damage models and rapid fire models in Cabal with Sin, because Sin is a rapid fire model. So the only models on the list that don't have the ability to rapid fire and automatic damage are Zemo.
Zemo has
automatic damage, but not yet. So I'm saying both. The only ones who don't have both are Zemo, Crossbones, and Sin. But Crossbones and Sin do have access to the Tactics card that does do automatic damage. So but not printed on their card. Everyone else does automatic damage, and most of them are Cabal members. So and
Crossbones probably doesn't make the list very often.
No. But it's a go wide list, which I really want to try now, and it's not Sam Spam and it's not Guardians, but it does some different things. Mostly, one of my favorite things to do in a meta is to find something that people don't play against a lot and find what they do really well, and then put that on the table a lot and let my opponent lose to something they don't understand. And so I'm excited for this one. I think there's a lot of models in here people don't see very often. Also, one of my very favorite models is in it because she fits the bill perfectly, and that's Agent Widow. So I'm really excited. This is actually something Brandon and I, in one of the game nights that I couldn't get a game, Brandon and I were staring at all the models in the game that have this combination of effects. And we're like, wait a minute, Black Widow, Agent Widow has this. And we're staring at it like, she's perfect for this list. So I'm really excited to put Agent Widow on the board as well because she's painted and I want to really bad. So we'll see.
Cool. Jeremy, what have you been working on?
I'm still just kind of splashing around in the kiddie pool. Just different things every week. The one thing I did want to mention is just so everyone understands that the folks that don't come up to this game store we all play at, walking upon Parker trying to make a list is the equivalent of, when you see the
it's
image,
like looking the time turtle in the eye.
Well, it truly is. You're one step away from seeing a person encased in a glass room with a dry erase marker, writing formulas on every wall, and just staring at each one, making corrections moment to moment. Like, he has every card.
Completely insane.
Every card.
So none of it makes any sense.
Oh, every card, every tactics card laid out before him in like this beautiful organization, and just staring at each one moment by moment and just passionate about every decision. Yeah. It's amazing.
And we're just looking over his shoulder like, Parker, you could probably cut heave-ho from the options. He's like, no, I need it available.
I need it
like,
here.
Parker, you don't need heave-ho.
It needs to be part of the rich tapestry. I need
to... What if I find the perfect place for it? It's like, no, Parker. Yeah. There is no... The perfect place is the shredder.
It's a beautiful, Crisis Mind. It's a beautiful mind. But it's the Parker version.
It's a place where even time stands still.
Well, Beautiful Mind was only a 3-hour movie. It does not encapsulate what we're talking about here.
Yeah, exactly.
We're talking
Parker
about...
was there for 5 days straight one time building a list. It was amazing.
But
I don't know if he went home, but I did.
Me personally, I'm just kind of scattered. Lots of new models, lots of new toys. I'm good to go. It doesn't matter. I play whatever.
Yeah. I think I'm mostly just waiting for Juggernaut to go all in on Brotherhood again. But yeah, last time I went all in on Brotherhood, it took a while to get out of that hole. So moving on to hobby projects, I have assembled the Sorcerer Supreme. He's right here.
He is so supreme.
You guys can see him in the video.
Mm-hmm. He's the master of the supreme. He's the master of the mystic arts.
This was a love-hate kit. I really liked all the joints putting it together. Mm-hmm. I thought the way it went together was very fun and interesting. And once you actually get it together, like, if you do it right, it's actually it fits together perfectly.
Right.
The problem was this was the first model that had actual mold lines, and they were not unnoticeable. Like, you actually have to clean this model. And maybe I just got a bad cast, but, like, everything on him had mold lines. And so maybe mine just wasn't the right temperature or something, but that I noticed that very heavily. Like, I had to spend a lot of time cleaning this dude. To the point where, like, it took me way longer to put them together than I expected it to, because I'm very meticulous when I clean models.
I could not find any mold lines in mine.
Okay, maybe I just had a bad cast then.
So with that model particularly, does it come with tentacles that you can put on the base? Because what I have seen is a phenomenal use of tentacles, and I'm very passionate about my What If episode with Doctor Strange in it. So that's
definitely the best.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah,
to build
now that
model.
you say that, I might consider doing some green stuffing. We'll see.
Man,
it's very good.
So good.
I'm just gonna say that Doctor Strange doesn't bargain.
No, he does not.
It is. Yeah, he tells you how it is.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. You guys working on anything?
I actually put together all of my convocation really fast. I had them done like 2 weeks ago, which is really weird. I never move that fast, but I did this time.
I have the Dormammu kit all built and everything up to that kind of in stages, and I'm just staring at it, not wanting to start to paint. I'm like, this is a lot.
This is a lot. It's just going to keep getting thicker.
Yep.
I'm very excited to put together my Sanctum. I haven't even finished my apartment building yet. I still have to do like the water tower and stuff, but I'm very excited to get onto the Sanctum Sanctorum as well. All right, well, that's going to move us past hobby projects. We're now moving into our main topic today, which is kind of a lighthearted one. We're doing the 12 Days of Christmas, which is basically our wish list for the game. We're basically going to go through and talk about things we wish either weren't in the game or were in the game, or things we would like to see changed. It's basically just our optimistic looking at like the things that we would like to have or change. So who wants to go first? We're going to do 12 choices. Each of us are going to pick 4 things. Basically do a 12 Days of Christmas thing. So when it comes to you, you have to find a way to make the number work. Good luck, guys. So I'll go last on these. So who wants to go first?
I can go first. I got 1.
All right. Parker has a 1. What is your 1, Parker?
Mm-hmm.
My 1 is I want 1 map precisely. I want 1 I want 1 rooftop map.
So you want them to print a neoprene rooftop map.
I want one neoprene rooftop map. I think that would be super fun and awesome. There's so many characters in this game that would love to fight on the rooftop. And when I'm always fighting on the city streets or like the cosmic, galaxy or something like that, it's fine. But there's nothing wrong with the maps they printed. But I really want a rooftop map. I think that one is super good. Also, even though a lot of the bases they have are have manhole covers and shit, the ones that are just concrete, like gray, that wouldn't look weird on a rooftop map. It wouldn't look that strange. I don't think it'd pull me out of the base versus the.
No, I don't think it would.
The neoprene.
Well, yeah, you could just do it as it's one, because if you do it, you actually think about it. There's buildings and complexes and apartment entire areas in New York where it's a quarter mile of rooftop. So you could just do it's differing layers and stuff, and there's skylights and things. You could easily make one map basically one rooftop equivalent, and then you maybe do some gaps on the edges, or one you could see where 2 buildings are butted right up against each other kind of thing.
That's what you do. Yeah, I think
exactly.
It's really easy to do it. Also, there's a lot of little things you could put on the roof, like old radar dishes and fallen over, and broken AC units, and there's tons of little details you could put across
tables
it that would
and
break.
Chairs
Yeah,
and stuff,
they would break it up. Gardens, right? If you're in New York, it's random gardens and shit.
Okay. We need to move on.
Yeah,
so
go.
that's Parker's. Parker has 1 map of rooftops.
1 map of okay.
Jeremy, you're number
second day of Christmas, I would like to see 2 less fucking Wolverines. I feel like X-23 and Honey Badger are the Archie comics of fucking Marvel Comics. I'm not. So second day of Christmas, 2 less Wolverines.
I was gonna save the music part for the end, but if you want to, that's fine.
It's fine.
So for my number 3, I want 1 3-point model band, and I'm gonna name her Shuri.
3-point model band.
3-point model band. Get rid of Shuri. There we go. All right. So Jeremy, who went? Parker. Parker, you're number 4 now.
I you know what my 4 is going to be? The Fantastic Four. I want the FF in this game so fucking bad. I want my 4 to be Ben Grimm, Sue, and Reed Richards, and Johnny Storm. That's what I want. I want them so bad.
Gonna have to disagree on that one. Jeremy, you're number 5.
5. I would like 5 new Atomic Mass Games token sets. Just new token sets, nice and shiny, like the plastic and all the stuff, and I want brand new cool token sets.
Okay. So 5 new token sets. For my number 6, I want 6 Agents of Smash. I want the Agents of Smash in the game. I want to be able to play an affiliation of old beat 'em up guys. I think it'd be very fun. Parker, you're up.
7. I want 7 more alternate leaderships. We've got a lot of affiliations in this game. They only have 1 leadership right now. It kind of pigeonholes them. and I would love to see more alternative leaderships. And I think they're coming, but I want more. I want more now.
So 7 more dual leader factions.
Mm-hmm.
Affiliations. There you go, Jeremy. I said affiliations.
Man, it's only taken you 66 fucking episodes.
I think I said it once before, so 65. Jeremy, what's yours?
8 more crises. That's what I want. I want 8 new crises.
Is this after the Sinister Syndicate?
Yep. The Sinister
So
Syndicate
basically
7
9.
6s 6s.
7 6s 6ing. All right. So that leaves me at 9. Oof. This is not good. Oof. I don't know how to make 9 out of one of these. We're getting these big numbers are harder. You guys are saying some bullshit getting through these.
Yeah, you got to have them in there.
I want 9 more tries at fixing mission selection.
9 more? You want 9 more versions of it, or just you want to go back to it?
I personally would be happy with your opponent bans one, then you pick from the remaining. But I call that the ban one, pick one method. I think that would be perfect. Your opponent gets rid of the worst one for them, and then you pick from the remaining 2.
9 more testings before releasing.
Yeah, they need 9 more test iterations before they're okay with this rule. I don't know. I couldn't make it work. It's hard. How about Parker? Why don't you give me 10 of something?
I want 10 pieces of prize support for different tournament seasons. So I want to I would see 10 spread out across the year or something like that. But I want main thing I want prize support are faction tokens. I think faction tokens would be awesome prize support. Also, dice would be super cool. So I want prize support, or you know what? Actually, what it would probably be 10 of would be 10 prize dice. So 5, you get 10 prize
10
special dice for prize support. That's what I
got it. 10 pieces of prize support.
Yeah.
Jeremy, you're on 11.
11 foil cards like the Octopus and Spider-Man kit has in them. I want all of the foil cards. Yes.
And for 12, I want 12 Doombots exploding.
There you go.
Got it. I got it in with 12.
Got it.
I put Doom. He was also on my list.
Yeah. I didn't think any of you were gonna have Shuri. I'm gonna. My honorable mention is I want better forum rulings. I'm getting very frustrating with the way rulings are happening on the forums.
Yeah, you're not the first time that you told me that.
Yeah, it feels like they're actively trying to go against what makes the most sense. Because after the Domino reroll timing ruling, which made no sense, functionally, they've gone on to say stuff like Doc Voodoo, his superpowers work while he's dazed, which makes him not the first time they've clarified that a rule works while a character is dazed. That doesn't make any fucking sense. And then also the way you move and you can touch any part of the template makes no sense according to the rules. That one makes the most sense if you actually get into the actual wording. But they could have easily just changed the wording to say against that, because nowhere in the actual rulebook do they explain that you can do that, and none of the developers ever play that way that I have ever seen. And so it's just very annoying that that's that way. But anyway, Jeremy, did you have an honorable mention that you didn't get to put in that you really wanted to?
No. Did I mention the Wolverine thing? I fucking hate all those kids. I hate all the children. Wolverines.
All right, Jeremy, I assume you don't have the thing pulled up, correct?
What thing?
The document that we're all typing in so we can record this and be looking at.
Hold on.
All right, I'm just confirming because you don't have it pulled up, and I assume you can't recite what we just did from memory.
I can pull it up.
Well, you were the musical guy. I don't sing, so.
No, I'm not musical. Jesus Christ, you've lost your mind. Okay, hold on.
So I was just going to read it, but now that Jeremy's trying to read, it's way more funny to watch him do it.
I can't do it. Oh, I see it. I see it here. I see it.
Are you going to do it, or do you want me to do it?
You do it.
Okay. I'm glad we waited for you to pull it up just for you to check it out. Infamous's 12 Days of Christmas are 12 Doombots exploding, 11 more rival kits, 10 pieces of prize support, 9 more tries at fixing mission selection, 8 new crisis missions, 7 more dual leader affiliations, 6 Agents of Smash, 5 new token sets, 4 fantastic characters, 3-point model band, and 2 less Wolverines, and 1 map of rooftops. That's our 12 pieces.
Well done.
That was not planned out. That was completely spontaneous. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that.
That was good.
Merry Christmas, motherfuckers.
Stay tuned for the post ramble where Jeremy will sing it. He'll sing it.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Jeremy will.
Shut the fuck up.
Jeremy, you're off podcast. You don't sing. So moving on, and Jeremy's like, finally, I can stop tuning in every fucking Wednesday.
Okay, so MCU universe. You cannot say Infinity War anything. No Infinity War, no Endgame. Top 2 movies.
Top 2 MCU movies that are not Avengers movies, basically?
You can say an Avenger. That's fine. Avengers is fine. Any of those. And I'm going to start.
Wait. Hold on. So you can say Avengers, just not Infinity War and Endgame?
Correct.
Okay, because Infinity War wouldn't be in my top 5.
It's fine, but I'm just taking those off the table. Those are off the table, all right? And I'm going to start with Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 2 with fucking...
That's not an MCU movie.
Is it not? You done fucked up. It is.
It's not.
It sure the fuck is. It sure is.
Not.
It sure is. It is fucking now, bitch.
It's not.
It is.
It's not.
So there's one. Go ahead, Brandon. What's yours?
I do think that was the best of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man. So I'm up next. Are we not saying No Way Home? That's
you can say that. It's fine.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just don't elaborate.
Literally just the 2.
Just 2. Just 2. You don't got to do 3. Just 2. I'm interested.
I mean, I would say No Way Home is better.
Yeah.
My second option beyond the banned list, it would probably be Age of Ultron, if not... Oh, no, wait. Ragnarok.
Okay.
I would probably put No Way Home ahead of Ragnarok.
Okay.
Yeah. So No Way Home is my answer.
These aren't life and death. Okay, Parker?
Guardians 1.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Guardians 1 goes on the list almost fucking instantly. And
we're doing no repeats, right?
Yeah, no repeats.
Okay.
Yeah, no. So I can't do Ragnarok. Ragnarok would have been my second, I think. But Guardians 1.
It's Jeremy's turn again.
Oh, sorry. I thought
Jeremy,
we were both.
What's your number 2?
Did we say Age of Ultron yet?
I did not. I said No Way Home.
So because it's obviously a contender, I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to go with your standard Iron Man. That movie's fucking phenomenal. The first Iron Man is fucking phenomenal.
It has a lot of problems, but it's easily overshadowed by all of its great parts.
It's so rock and roll, man.
And considering what it was, like if taking the concept of how it was made and everything, it's got to be up there. Yeah, Iron Man is amazing. Well, I'm going to say it just to make it easy. I'll say Ragnarok.
Okay.
So Parker gets the last choice.
Actually, for me, it's Winter Soldier.
That was what I was going to say, if not Ragnarok.
And the reason why Winter Soldier is, I felt like it did a bunch of things. It did a really good job of transitioning Captain America's like classic style to like a modern style, which he like does on purpose. Both if you pay really close attention, like the choreography and his like fighting style and how he thinks. Also, it shows. I love his like primary conflict of being stuck in a morally gray world, and he doesn't want it. And so, then finally he gets somebody to punch, and he's so happy. Like I love that scene where Natasha is just like her whole world is breaking down, and everything she thought was wrong is right and right is wrong, and he's like grinning there. He's like, "Why are you smiling?" He goes, "Because I got something to punch." He's like, "Because I see bad guys. I'm gonna go get bad guys." Like,
I finally know which side I'm on.
Right. Also, I think I love the reimagining of Bucky in the MCU. I love the way they did it. And I feel like he was a great, sinister bad guy. The pacing for his character was great, and it was super interesting B storyline in there. I don't know, maybe it's considered an A, but I think it was probably a B storyline. It's like saving Bucky. No, it's probably the primary one. The B storyline was probably the Hydra's infiltration. So like, I loved the main storylines. And the other thing is, it was also an espionage thriller. It also had a twist or two that made me excited. It had a few fake faces in there that surprised me. It was an espionage thriller also.
Yeah, it was literally like Mission Impossible, but good.
Yeah, Mission Impossible, but in the MCU with a compelling character making a transition. Yeah, it was great.
So one more question. We don't have to follow up with this. Just what is your favorite like Disney Plus show right now? Like of all of them they put out a shitload, but like I thought What If was fucking fantastic. Like I was shocked at how cool it was. It had some duds. It did, but some of the episodes
it had some duds, but the ups again were so high that it's hard to complain at all. Speaking of Jeremy, did you see The Stinger?
Dude, I did.
Oh my god,
I did.
I haven't seen it yet. Please, I'm seeing it soon.
I know. I'm so excited.
That is actually what I'll probably be doing Christmas Eve is seeing that with Sarah because she's really excited to finish it. We're on the last episode.
That is not a bad decision.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so in recap, we had the original Iron Man, Avengers 2, Captain America 2, Ragnarok, Thor 3, Spider-Man 3, and Guardians 1.
Yeah,
that was a pretty good shotgun spread.
Yeah, it is. So for the fellow listeners, if you have not seen those, just fucking log out.
I literally cannot imagine that anyone listening is that much of a Marvel fan to then go play a Marvel miniature game and get so into it that you want to go listen to a podcast about the game and you haven't seen these movies.
All you have done right now is you have realized how right we are all the time.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right, Parker, why don't you hit us with a comic corner for everyone to tuck themselves in. This better be read to us and explained in the manner of, like, what's that fucking, like...
'Twas the Night Before Christmas?
Yeah, that one, The Night Before Christmas.
Oh,
it better be in the tone of that.
Okay.
I'll be back. I'm going to go to the bathroom while you do it, so you're on the honor system here.
Oh, my God. No pressure. And go.
So, 'Twas the Night Before X-Force. This is an X-Force comic I want to talk about because everyone's favorite Wolverine clone, Jeremy. This one's featuring Laura, and if you haven't read the X-Force from the 2010 run, where post Cyclops forming a mutant nation after M-Day and Scarlet Witch said no more mutants and the number of mutants in the world has dwindled, he realizes that he can't keep, Cyclops realizes he can't keep going on the straightened path and just rescue mutants and try to convince the world that everything can be hunky-dory. He needs a Black Ops team. And so he gets a bunch of mutants together that are willing to murder other mutants, led by Wolverine, and they go out and kill people before they become a problem for the other X-Men and the mutant population. And so, in one of their amazing adventures, Laura, X-23, gets separated from the group and gets captured by the same corporation that made her. And so, if you want to read this, it's actually in the graphic novel, it's X-Force Not Forgotten, which is volume 3 of the graphic novel series. But it's really, really strong. This particular set, now see this, they had a bunch of authors write these, and so I'm trying to figure out who wrote this. So this would have been Craig Kyle and Christopher Yost, and this was drawn by Mike Choi and Sonia Abak, who did a great job on it. There's so much blood in this, and they do such a good job with it. But basically, she gets captured, and she has to get out from her sadistic captors, and she actually is helped by a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent that's an original character that is introduced in the X-Force series, and she is trying to figure out who Laura Kinney is, why she even exists, and is there a Black Ops mutant team that she's a part of, and she ends up tracking her down to this facility and helps her escape. Originally, she's trying to help these folks at the facility, and then she realizes how terrible, backwards, and sadistic they are, especially Laura, and they decide the S.H.I.E.L.D. agent decides she doesn't deserve it and helps her escape. It's when you're introduced to it's actually one of the very first times you're introduced to a lot of the things that happen to Laura before she meets Wolverine and joins the X-Men, and So if you're interested in X-23 and the character, or actually just X-Force in this 2010 run, I would recommend any of it. It's all super strong. A lot of the things I know about X-Force come from this. Some of my favorite moments about Deadly Mutants come from this series. But if you want to know more about Laura, specifically in Volume 3, they do a great kind of side story, B-mission, about her and the place that she was from and what they are. Spoiler alert, she murders a lot of people. And it's fun to watch.
I was talking to somebody at the Geekery the other day, and some random person came in and was asking me about MCP, and he was like, yeah, so like I really like Wolverine, so if I was going to play, I'd probably play X-Men. I was like, oh yeah, Wolverine's pretty cool. And then he clearly was a comic fan, so we started talking about comics. He's like, yeah, but like, is the Hand in the game? I was like, well, they're not in the game right now. And he's like, good, because Wolverine would just kill all of them all the time. It's like, he goes in and talking about, I was like, Wolverine's killed like all of the Hand like 4 times. I was like, yeah, that sounds about right for what Parker's told me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was fun. The
best they are at what they do. Yep.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us today. Hopefully you guys had a good time. I think we did. We had a fun, silly time here that we got stuck in news for a while. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So anyway, this has been Brandon.
And Dr. Amanda Toboggan, MD.
Jeremy.
Just Jeremy.
Just Jeremy.
Just Jack. I like the peace sign you threw out there. Like you knew what
just
you were
for
doing.
you.
That was great. That was for me. All right. Well, hopefully you guys had a good time. This has been 12 Days of X-Force.
So what are we going to call this thing?
I got it. Okay. Incredible, new, fantastic, astonishing, mighty, original, uncanny, sensational podcast.
I'm just going to put down infamous.
How much fucking Topsy popcorn do you think you're going to get in your life? Like, I have an understanding that I will gain at least 5 gallons of Topsy popcorn over the next few days, which that's good.
Really?
Yeah.
I will get none.
No, my family's big on like Christmas equals Topsy popcorn. Like, I'm about to get hit hard.
Huh.
You be digging that shit out of the fucking closet.
Mm-hmm. Those Topsy people have it. They figured it out.
They cracked the code.
Now,
yep.
I do like me some Topsy, and I've had it many times, but
have you ever had?
It's always a random thing.
Where you get the Topsy, you have like caramel, like one piece of caramel and one piece of butter popcorn, and you eat it at the same time. Like that shit breaks the code. Like you can see into the Matrix, and like that, like it's fucking incredible.
Parker, do you want to cover that gold standard thing you were talking about? Just so we have it on the podcast.
Oh, okay. So
here we go.
Shown now. Here we go. It's been shown after a study of a lot of resale websites like eBay and Amazon that it's actually more consistently profitable to buy Lego sets than it is to buy gold. Like dollar for dollar, Legos actually return 11% on average, and that's better than gold is currently. So, you heard it here first. You can't open them though. You can't play with them. You just got to have them
in the box.
And you can't. And obviously, right then, that moment, they're not worth a lot. But even the appreciation rate is actually pretty fast, even after about a year, because Lego rotates their stuff out pretty fast. And so, very soon, you can actually expect to get at least, I guess, the average is 11%, depending upon like what set you got and how excited people are to have it. But it's 11% on average.
I have the vast majority of my money tied up in that Block company. And not the Lego one, the other one that makes stuff like Legos. I think they're going to be the next big thing.
Duplo?
After Lego shits the bed.
Oh my god, they're just waiting in the wings.
It's like Block Inc. or something. I can't remember what it's called.
Blockchain?
I don't know.
It's
basically Legos without the little Lego on top.
So did you ever watch the Netflix special on that? Like, it turns out
I did. Yeah,
they don't they don't repeat colors. So if you're looking for like a shark gray Lego, you're fucked. Like if it's the one you want, they don't do it again.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Those sons of bitches.
Yeah, to try and keep the collectibleness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So since we're on the topic of economics, I had something I found really interesting. Did you guys know that a slice of pie is $2.50 in Jamaica, but in the Bahamas it's $3? And these are the pie rates of the Caribbean.
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
Fucking.
I want to make sure you guys were aware of the pie rates of the Caribbean.
Oh my god!
I knew it was coming too.
I knew it was coming. I couldn't figure it out. It took me a
like,
moment.
I can't stop it. They're coming through.
You son of a bitch! Oh my god! Wow. Hope you're proud of yourself, Brandon.
I was actually pretty happy with that one. It took a while to set that one up.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I got to come up with the rest of my my things, my tiddly bits.
So, Brandon has seen Spider-Man. I've seen Spider-Man.
I pronounce it Spider-Man.
But are you planning on seeing Spider-Man, Parker?
Yes.
When?
Do you need a hand? Because I can spot you the $3 to rent Far From Home on Amazon Prime.
I've got to see yeah, I got to see Far From Home first, but that's my plan is to see Far From Home during this Christmas vacation, and then see Spider-Man immediately following that. I don't know how I'm going to see it. I may end up seeing it by myself, or actually, no, I'll probably go with a good friend of mine.
You don't have to see it by yourself. Anyone will go with you. Like we will all go for a second or third
He's like,
time.
I'm gonna see it with a good friend of mine, and then didn't mention me, and I was like,
Well, I didn't think I've never heard of you guys going back to see a movie in a theater a second time.
Dude, I saw Endgame like 4 times in theater.
I also saw Endgame.
I saw Endgame like 4 times.
I saw it at the theater a lot.
I cannot hear. Both times you guys completely.
Endgame.
Endgame. Okay, Endgame.
Like 4 times.
Okay.
When are we going to see Spider-Man? I think that's the next. Okay, so the next step. When are we going to see Spider-Man?
I saw Eternals though like 14 times in theaters.
Fuck you.
I paid for IMAX each time.
What's the taste?
I still don't get it. I
can't wash the taste of penis out of my mouth.
I think. Let me think. When would I go to see that movie?
As fast as you can is the answer.
Yeah. I think I have to see it pretty quick because I can't go onto any websites without it getting spoiled. Like I'm trying really hard.
I'm going to give you a quick review. I'll give you a quick review of what my boys said.
Don't give me a quick review.
No. Listen. They said best movie I've ever seen in my entire life. They're 9.
That's true.
Followed with it's the best movie ever made. How can they make a movie so good? We don't understand. And I high-fived them and said, "You're goddamn right." And we celebrated like
like you just won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, like it was amazing. Like for them, they were just like fucking yeah, and I'm like fucking yeah.
Yeah. I have my students who have seen it did a really good job of not telling me about it. Like I said, I had to run the gauntlet of a couple turds trying to spoil it, but I was constantly like holding. At one point, I was walking through my classroom, like helping kids with labs, and I was walking through the classroom, and I had my hand on one ear, and I was just humming really loudly, like. And one of my students,
like Rain Man.
and one of my students looked at me like, "Mr. G, we're not going to say a spoiler." I go, "I know, but I'm not going to take any chances with this because one of you guys slips up." And they go, "That's fair."
That's fair.
Just walking around my room humming. With one hand in my ear so I can't hear them. I actually managed to do a whole week there. Like it was a whole week at school without hearing one. So I've got a lot of Marvel movies spoiled for me there. I'm really glad. I run a Marvel Comics Club every Wednesday, and that shit didn't meet this week, which was really nice. I would have definitely.
Well done.
I definitely would have missed it. I would have got spoiled. But so yeah, my goal is to see Far From Home, because apparently it's important to see the whole thing.
So Thursday night, tomorrow night, we're going to go see Far From Home.
No, we have to go play games. I'm not.
Right, so
I'm not
Friday
losing
night,
a chance.
We're going to go see Far From Home.
Oh, I don't think I could do that to my wife. I don't think I could do that.
All right, Christmas Day.
Sunday. No. Sunday after the Chiefs game, we'll just go to see the movie. We'll all be together already.
Now, see that is actually something that might happen. If I can go to the Chiefs game, I don't think there's any reason why she would care if I go to the see Far From Home after that. I think.
You're already gone.
Yeah, I think
okay.
that
I like where you're going there. I'm in. All right, let's do it.
And then you can sell her on the Chiefs game by saying, "Hey, I'm gonna have to go see this movie anyway, so there's gonna be a day I leave. I'll just double up and get them both out of the way now.
I'm not gonna lie. I would rather see Far From Home not fucking exhausted from a Chiefs game, but I think I can handle it because it's not like it takes a lot of energy to watch.
Steelers, yeah, like who cares?
But the problem is not that; it's just like standing and yelling for hours.
It's quite exerting. I understand. Trust me, if anyone knows, I know how exerting it is.
Listen, dancing around for 14 hours in the cold. It's nice. It's nice. I agree.
Yeah, we're gonna get. I hope I get to go. That'd be awesome. But
we have like the whole like 40-minute drive back to like relax.
Usually I'm falling asleep in the car. In fact, every single time I think you've driven me back, I think I've fallen asleep before I got to your
but
house.
you usually only go to the late games, so we're getting out there at like 11.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm fucking tired.
Yeah. That's true.
You're gonna have to see it, Parker. This is unexcusable.
No, I'm not going to miss it this time. There's too much hype. Everybody's too excited for it. It's the fucking Avatar again. I got to do it. I got to get to it.
I will say that I don't think there's actually such a thing as a spoiler for this movie. It's not like Infinity War. Spoiler alert, everyone dies. There's not like a giant twist. There was no part in the movie where I was like, oh, I didn't see that happening. Like the trailer after the movie for the next movie coming out, I was more surprised by than anything in the movie. The movie was just that good.
I heard the second stinger. I heard that one thing I did hear was stay for the second stinger is what somebody said. I was like, okay. Well, I always stay for. I always just
look
up.
It's not even a stinger, yeah.
Yeah, I always
it's just
look,
a trailer.
Yeah, I always look for the next thing anyway. I always. Now when I sit in any theater, it doesn't matter what movie it is. I immediately go to like stingers.org or whatever the fuck it is, and it shows me like what if there's a stinger or not without telling me what it is.
If anything, you wish that like the previews hadn't shown so much.
Oh no, that's why I avoided the previews so hard.
Yeah,
and I literally didn't see a trailer for the movie until like 2 weeks before, and that was because we were like seeing Afterlife, and there was a fucking No Way Home trailer. I was like, great. But the only reason I knew everything that was in the trailer is because people would come up to the game store and was like, man, did you see that No Way Home trailer? It's like, no, I don't watch the trailers when I know I'm going to see the movie because I don't like spoilers. He's like, well, this happens. I'm like, you're an idiot. You are the dumbest person alive.
Well, they are playing Magic, probably.
Most of them play Magic. Well, one of them's named Richard.
Yeah. Hey, Rich.
If only you could guess who he is.
So... I'll man, Jesus. I have so many things I have to do this Christmas break. Sorry, not have to, get to do. I am so excited to do so many things, but every single day so far of this break, every night has been filled with something. Sarah's starting to feel a little neglected, not gonna lie. So not like I don't see her all day long. I'm seeing her all day long too because she works from home and stuff. It's not a bad thing. It's that after she gets off work, I'm immediately like, okay, bye. I gotta go. Gotta go do this awesome thing I want to do. It's so awesome. Bye.
You're gaming tomorrow night, right?
Yes.
Just wanted to make that clear.
No, it's on the list. She already knows that. I've already. Oh, okay. This is the reason why. This is the only reason why I am currently I'm currently not just in for the Chiefs game. Is every single day has something going on. So hopefully the Chiefs game happens. We'll see. I want it all to happen. I just want it all.
Well, look, if you don't get to see Spider-Man, you can go with me and my boys, my girlfriend and her girls, and we're going to go see Sing 2. So if you would like to go see that with us.
No, not excited. You know what? Actually, I know for a fact that if it was appropriate for Cece, a 7-year-old could probably see. Cece would actually love to see Spider-Man. She is a big Spider-Man fan.
Yeah, there's nothing crazy like that. It's for everybody. Look, Spider-Man 3 is for everybody. Can we just say that? It's for everybody.
Regina probably wouldn't be excited. Regina probably wouldn't get it if there wasn't Ghost Spider in it, but I'm really excited to show her into the what was the animated Spider-Man movie? I'm just blanking on the title.
Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, Into the Spider-Verse, yeah. I'm really excited for her to see that because she loves Ghost Spider so much.
There's a line in No Way Home that made me laugh, and I don't think it's not really a spoiler, but I'm not going to say it just because it made me laugh, and nobody else around me laughed. I was like, "Oh, you guys aren't real fans."
I think I know what you're talking about, but I appreciated it as well. I think I know where you're going. Okay. I will say Into the Spider-Verse is one of the best Marvel movies ever made. I'm going to say that. If you haven't seen that, listeners, fucking turn off the podcast and go fucking get that right now.
You're doing it wrong.
Yeah. We're not spoiling it. We're going to be spoiler free on this, but also turn it off and go watch it anyway. It's like you're wasted. You're making a poor time allotment decision here. This is
exactly.
This is going to be almost as long as No Way Home, and you should go do that instead. This should be on priority 2.
My icon, my Discord icon that I'm looking at right now is Into the Spider-Verse clip. Mm-hmm. That's the one I love it.
Yeah,
how about this? Such a good one. Let's take a moment and rank our favorite MCU movies 1 to 5.
Oh shit!
I'll go first. Number 1, Eternals.
It's 10.
Number 2,
Jesus Christ! You just flopped.
Iron Man 3.
War were declared.
Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3, Iron Man 2, Dark World, Thor, and Eternals, and...
Wait, hold on. I got Daredevil.
The Incredible Hulk, go.
Ben Affleck Daredevil.
Ben Affleck Daredevil. It's not an MCU movie.
Elektra movie. Elektra.
Punisher, and I know what you're thinking. No, not the Thomas Jane one, but also no, not Punisher Warzone.
The Dolph Lundgren
one. Dolph Lundgren, where Dolph Lundgren doesn't play the Russian. It's like Highlander. It's like you have an eternal Scottish warrior, and in this movie, Sean Connery plays a Spanish guy, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, who cast this movie?
I loved that other Punisher, the second Punisher movie, though, not the Dolph Lundgren one.
Warzone?
No, the
or Thomas Jane one. I love the Thomas Jane one.
The Thomas Jane one,
but everyone says it's the worst. I'm like, you guys are dumb.
They're wrong.
You don't understand what the Punisher is if you didn't like that movie.
I actually will say this: he's not. He is barely the Punisher from the comic books in that movie. He's mostly just a good action hero. It's just it's a good action flick. It's not. If you want an homage to the Punisher, Frank Castle, then watch the Netflix series. Like that's probably the best way to get that. But
I don't know. I thought they were pretty similar. Like, what would you say is different about the Thomas Jane movie? Like, obviously they changed the backstory just to get the movie going faster.
Right. It's just his primary motivation is what's the best way to put it? I guess the word is just like not dark enough. The movie is just not dark enough. The movie he should feel like a sincere PTSD sufferer all the time, and he doesn't. He feels more like, well, the action movies at the time, right? It's, like True Lies.
Well, I mean, he spends the majority of the movie completely shit-faced.
That's true, I guess.
He literally drinks himself into a hole every day.
I probably need to rewatch it, actually, to find out how close it is. But I remember being a kid and having Punisher comics, and of course, my tastes were warped back then just by my youth. But I'm pretty sure I wasn't excited about the Punisher comics character coming to life on the screen as much as I was like, this is a fun movie to watch. Like, it's a really fun action movie.
But also the problem with the comics and like a movie like that is like when you're talking about an origin story movie, right? You're not really talking about the comic book character. You're talking about the origin story. And I would imagine that most Punisher comics are not just the origin story on repeat, right?
Yeah, there was him, against some criminal syndicate or something.
Right. So you're talking about the Punisher years after this movie takes place, which I would imagine is a different character generally.
Right.
Because he's still like in the raw moments of it in the movie.
Also, the Punisher,
and then in the comics, it's more like this is him in the routine that he has made for himself years later.
Also,
I think that would be different.
And the Punisher now is very different than the Punisher then, because original Punisher was, well, in general, a lot of gritty characters talked a fucking lot. Like, why are these gritty characters so loquacious? Like, why are they just constantly talking? And it's because exposition and talking, they wanted to fill the page with dialogue bubbles, right? Like, that was something important. And now that just doesn't happen. The characters don't talk like constantly in comic books. And when you read a Punisher comic or a Punisher guest starring now, he barely talks. Like he says as few words on the page as possible, which is why the Punisher War Journal was always a thing. The War Journal was his inner monologue, right? Like that's kind of how the fact that he was always thinking about things tactically and you got to see his what was going on in his head because the character doesn't talk. Like that was how the Punisher War Journal became like a famous thing, is that he just doesn't talk. He's just very quiet and stoic, because I don't need to talk to you, I just need to kill you. So, so when you watch, when you watch a movie, you have to have more dialogue. But that's one of the reasons why I love the Netflix Punisher. He was similar to that, like very little dialogue, just grunts and punching and shooting.
I think that Thomas Jane did a really good job, because he doesn't actually have a lot of speaking lines in that movie. Like after the the startup.
I wish I knew more.
That's actually,
I wish I remember more about it,
because it's Rebecca Romaine and John Panette and I can't remember the punk guy. Like his neighbors basically have most of the dialogue.
That's right. His neighbors. He's like he goes.
Right.
He gets,
and so they're always like trying
to
talk to him, and he just walks by him stone faced.
That's
and doesn't say
right.
a word. Yeah. No, I think Thomas Jane's Punisher was really well done. But I don't think people were ready for it. Like, nobody really knew who the Punisher was other than, like, the iconic jacket.
Right.
And so they're like, oh, it's just a guy in a trench coat with a skull t-shirt. And you're like... And then they see the movie and they're like, oh, this is okay. But John Travolta was fucking awful in it. So it's like, everybody's like, oh, this movie's just okay. It's like, yeah, but they really did a good job of the character, I think.
Yeah, maybe I need to see that whole movie again. I remember loving it as a kid just because it was a good action movie. But I bet I have more appreciation even of it now.
Okay. Parker, is this a new comic corner you got here?
It's not one we've done before.
Okay. I
Mm.
nailed it. Fucking nailed it. That was like the best ending.
That was really
Motherfuckers,
good.
get back. 12 Doombots exploding. 11 more rival kids. 10 pieces of prize support. 9 more tries at fixing mission selection. 8 new crisis missions. 7 more dual leaders affiliations. 6 agents of Smash. 5 new token sets. 4 fantastic characters. 3 points banned, get rid of fucking Shuri. 2 less fucking Wolverines. And 1 map rooftop.
Yeah!
Jeremy, I can't believe you said that on a recorded line.
That's
that was like
awesome.
when Parker said
That was
Brandon
beautiful.
was right.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
I have that saved on my hard drive and backed up to a cloud.
That's fucking badass.
Oh,
That's
it's perfect. Well done.
I'm going to be real tempted to just release that 10 seconds or 30 seconds as the episode and see if people get it.
Yeah.
It'll definitely be a
shit.
bonus. I'm going to release it as 66.6, the bonus episode.
Nice. Bonus-ode. I knew I could do it.
Oh,
If I tried
it's
real
the
hard.
number of Christmas, right? 66.6.
Christmas, motherfuckers.
Get jolly. I'm going to fucking kill you, smiley face.
Oh, man. That
Have
was
you ever
great.
seen Get Him to the Greek?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I love he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you, smiley face. Like, he ends every text with a smiley face. I don't know if it means he's happy or sad. I don't understand.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I love that movie, actually.
That movie is so good.
He's a mule. He's got heroin in his ass. No one cares, see? No one's looking. He's a mule.
He's just sweating through his fucking shirt. Like, holy shit. I can't imagine I would ever agree to mule anything for anybody, but if you were in line at the TSA and he tells people I have heroin up my ass, I would just strangle him to
He
death.
has heroin in his ass. He's smuggling it. He's a mule.
See, nobody cares.
Nobody's listening.
Oh, man. I love when I left and I was like, we're on the honor system. That's like one of my favorite parts of the Dresden Files is like they have to bug out, like they're getting out of the place and he's like holding all this stuff and everybody else has like got all their weapons and everything. They're ready to go. And he just looks at Mouse and he's like, he puts the lead in Mouse's mouth. He's like, we're on the honor system. And the dog is leading himself around. I was like, this is so good. He's like, I don't have a hand free. Like, you got to do this. So good. I mean, don't get me wrong, if there was a big dog running at me, I might be intimidated or afraid. But if the big dog was running at me while holding a leash in his mouth, I would not be afraid. Because clearly this dog knows what it's doing.
Yeah. Is precisely
like,
aware of what's going on.
Zero chance this dog is out of control. It's working perfectly. Like, as intended. Everyone knows what's going on. Richard was telling me I need to timestamp the episode, like all the topics we talk about throughout the podcast. I'm like, you don't understand how long that would add to my editing process. Yeah. It would be so long.
Also, when would like there's like the text around it or something you could tell? Is that what the idea?
It would be in the episode details. So like if someone's like, oh, I only want to listen to the main topic, or I want to listen to the pre-ramble, and so it'd be like pre-ramble 1 hour 53 minutes.
Honestly, I don't think that's our crew. That's not our job.
Exactly. I think the people who are here are in it for the long haul. I don't think they're going to be in and out. Like, I just need to listen to the main topic. It's like Parker's like, or Richard was like, well, when do you guys talk about the importance of mission selection? I want to listen to that bit. And I was like, oh, it's somewhere between 5 minutes and 2 hours and 5 minutes. He's like, that's not helpful. I'm like, you asked a dumb question. So he's like, why don't you have timestamps? I'm like, because I'm an adult with responsibilities. I can't spend 7 hours editing a podcast. And he's like, well, that's like not very efficient of you. I was like, I produce a free podcast that has 0 ad revenue. You can go fuck right off.
Exactly. God damn.
It's like, you send me $20 a week, I'll edit it. You got it, buddy. I'll put all the timestamps you want.
Yeah.
It's like 1 hour 53 minutes. Received Richard's PayPal. like shut up.
This is exactly the trolling he'd need too. You'd fucking put fake timestamps.
And I would just sneak in like Richard, go fuck yourself into random sentences.
Oh, and they would be at the timestamp. They'd be at the timestamps. Yeah. 1 minute 20.
It would be really easy because I just click on a random point in the episode, splice it, record myself saying "Go fuck yourself, Richard," unsplice, put in the timestamp. I know exactly where it was. I would just copy and paste it at random points in the podcast.
Our patron paid for this timestamp.
Yeah,
move forward.
Yeah,
patron paid for this timestamp.
It'd be like an ad of just Richard, go fuck yourself. It'd be so good.
Oh man.
Oh boy. Are you guys excited for the holidays?
No.
I am.
But you get all that Topsy popcorn, brah.
Yeah.
I do have a big tub coming. I gotta tell you, I'm pretty fucking excited. Of all the gifts,
I could just picture Jeremy like laying out in his jacuzzi tub and just pouring 5 bins of Tops popcorn into it. And just be like, I am the popcorn
that would be
king.
Terrible.
No, listen.
It would be awful.
So
he's so salty.
I was sitting there wrapping presents at my house for my kids and everybody, and I was like, I was like 4 minutes in going, man, I've got a lot of presents in the back of my car for my work people, and what they need is one less Topsy popcorn. So I went and got one, and I ate it while I was wrapping presents, and it was so fucking good.
3 gallons of popcorn.
It was only like one of the small ones, but it was way too much. I shouldn't have ate it.
Yeah.
It was way too much.
Well, yeah. I really like kettle corn. I'm not a huge fan of regular popcorn. I understand kettle corn is just popcorn with sugar on it. I get it. But like, if you're gonna eat the caramel corn, I'll just eat fucking kettle corn. It's way
like
better.
diet. That's diet caramel corn is what you're getting.
Basically. But I don't like caramel corn like that much. Like, it's fine. Like, I don't hate it, but like it's like I eat it, I'm like, this could be kettle corn. Like, I'm annoyed that it's not kettle corn.
It's popcorn escalation.
It's like getting a diet soda when you really want something sweet, but you're like, it could be regular soda. Like, it's like, yeah, just get the kettle corn.
No,
like,
you've got popcorn.
I don't want caramel.
You've got the kettle corn, which is sugar popcorn. Then you've got caramel corn, and then, which I've already talked about, dear listeners, if you've listened to the other shit, you mix it. You get the caramel corn with a piece of buttered popcorn, and I'm telling you, that's some next level shit. Not everyone's going to tell you about that.
It's like putting the chocolate in the peanut butter. Right?
You're liable to wake up the next day and not know what happened. Like, that's how good it is.
Now you're obviously like a Topsies. You know, you're a Topsies.
Oh yeah, yep.
When it comes to Topsies, whenever I encounter it, I will have like what I always do. It never fails. I'll have like one of the buttery ones. And I go, powdered butter. Okay. And I'll have one of the caramel ones. I was like, oh, this is quality, but a little too sweet. And then I'll have the cinnamon ones. And I just won't stop. And I will eat through like a whole the red ones. I've never
had the red ones.
I will eat through.
We always get the cheese ones. There's cheese, the regular, and the caramel.
Yeah.
I've always seen.
Yeah, that's.
I've never. I've never seen.
The ones I always see is the red, the caramel and the cheesy.
No,
butter,
yeah,
it's
the
called.
cheese is like yellow and orange.
Yeah. So there's a yellow one, there's a brown one, and there's a red one. That's the one I always encounter.
The red one is
I've
the one
never
that goes in
seen
the
the
trash. That one's a
Oh,
filler.
see,
That's
that's the
like-
only
You
one. I
guys,
eat. That's the
we
only
need
one
to
I
get
eat.
you two in a room because you guys could just eat unlimited. You're like the fucking gatekeeper and keymaster over here.
Yeah.
You guys need to split some Topsy's popcorn, right?
I'm like,
It's
I'm
true.
not eating this garbage. Well, I'm not eating
It's-
this garbage. Perfect.
Yeah.
Parker's
Yeah.
over there just hoovering it down.
Yeah,
He's literally just got part of a vacuum just ending in his mouth.
I go nuts for that red stuff, man. I black out and wake up the next day. I'm like, oh shit! I ate all
Your
you
that.
fingers
got like
are all
9
red,
balloons
your
of
mouth's all
heroin
red.
shoved
Yes,
up your
I
ass. You're
ate-
like, what happened?
I ate a
Must
third
have
of
had
that.
Topsy's popcorn.
Yeah, my pipes are clean with Topsies. They're gone through. Ugh.
You ever bought that at the mall? Have you ever actually bought Topsy popcorn? You go to
Yeah.
buy
I
it.
thought it was like what is that stuff called? Candy corn. Like I didn't think you could actually buy it anymore.
No.
You just go to your grandma's house and
No,
it's
it's,
still there.
there's
No,
there's
you
still-
go to
there's
the
several
mall.
I didn't know they
options.
still made this stuff.
No,
There's
you go to the
several
mall and you're like,
locations,
hey, I'd like to buy some Topsy's popcorn. And they're like, okay, well, here's the price list. And you're like, well, it's got to be like $5 because it's just popcorn. It's like, no, it's like $50 a fucking tiny 10.
God.
Oh my God. It's not right.
Yeah, I would just learn how to make kettle corn and do that.
Learn how to win the
Mm.
Olympics, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, go
I
fuck
feel like
you-
one of
go-
these is a skill and the other one is amazing talent.
all I gotta say is you kind of gotta go. You gotta go fuck yourself there because Topsies is fantastic. Topsies is
Yeah.
I've never been a big popcorn guy, but there's something about the perfect marinating of sweet and salty in kettle corn. Like the caramel corn doesn't get there. It's just the sweet side. If I want to eat sugary sweets, I'll go eat something else.
If it's fresh kettle corn, man, that's hard to beat. Like when it's just
fresh
popped
kettle
out,
corn
like
is like
Bass
you
Pro
could,
Shop
I
kettle
could
corn.
easily see. Yeah. I'm talking about like even Renfest kettle
Yeah,
corn is just
Renfest is
okay
good
most
too,
of the
yeah.
time because it's so mass produced on the spot that it's not like really handmade. But I've had some kettle corn like at a fair or at like a Chiefs game. You're just like, son of a bitch. Like this is yes.
These
I
guys
can
know
easily
me.
see somebody murder another human being for this in the right situation. Yeah.
Like $7 for popcorn. That does seem reasonable. I'll have that.
Yeah. Captain $50.
Jesus.
man, I used to back when. What was the name of that mall that disappeared? It had the Sears in it. And it was the last one
Bannister
there.
Mall.
No, it wasn't Bannister. This is the one in Johnson County, not in Missouri.
So all the malls are gone now.
Yeah, there's only a few left. But there was
Metcalf South.
yes, that's right, Metcalf South.
Yeah.
In Metcalf South Mall, there was exactly a Sears and a Topsies, and
Yeah.
I would go into that Topsies on a fairly regular basis. It was super good. Now there's still one at Oak Park Mall. There's one in Brookside. There's one in the Plaza in a really weird place. It's like attached to a parking garage or something, if I remember correctly. It's a weird place. And there's a bunch in Missouri.
Speaking of the Plaza, we might have to start a little late next week, Jeremy. I'm taking Tiffany to the Plaza to do a carriage ride, and it doesn't start till 8.
That's adorable.
So we'll probably be on the way back by 9, but I might not get here till like 9:45, depending on traffic.
So yeah, I'm looking at their prices here. The 6.5 gallon one is the giant one you're talking about. That one is $58, but the 3.5 gallon one is only $40.
Yeah, the one Jeremy
only
ate
$40.
in an afternoon, $40 for popcorn. I could buy everything I need to make kettle corn for that and make like 100 gallons of kettle corn.
You can buy pretty much everything you need to make a 70-inch television for 50. Like, it's like, how is popcorn that fucking
I don't know
expensive?
why I immediately got a mental picture of like Richard sitting in his house. He's like, dude, I saved so much money. And he just got all the pieces to build a television sitting in his fucking living room. He's like, I just got to put it together. Like, I don't know why that popped into my head. I'm like,
Oh,
Jesus
God.
Christ.
Oh, hey, I know what I'm getting you for Chris. I know what I'm getting you. There is a Chiefs one. There's a Chiefs one. There we go.
There you go.
I would
Well
I would
done.
go nuts for a Chiefs tin that might have popcorn in it.
Yeah.
Maybe. It can have
I don't
anything
even,
in it.
you can eat the red popcorn. I bet it's all red popcorn.
Nope, it's all three. It's the standard trifecta.
What's the trifecta then?
Cinnamon, caramel, and cheese.
Regular?
Cheese. Yeah.
Cheese.
Okay, so
Usually
no regular.
cheese.
Okay.
There is no regular
never-
here. Yeah.
Dude, okay, so I must have just only had Topsies when I was a kid before they had the red instead of the white.
You can still get butter. Like, butter's a thing. You don't have to get the cheese, but I mean, as an expert, as a local expert on Topsy's popcorn, you can get the butter.
You want the butter and caramel.
You want the butter and caramel. Don't fuck around with that red shit. Like, that'll get you in trouble. Kids will tell you to try it. Don't. Just keep that away from you.
I feel like they missed the opportunity of making the Chiefs 10 all red popcorn. Like, they definitely, like, there was an opportunity there.
Yeah, but nobody'd eat it. Like, they'd be like, ooh, but it's all red popcorn.
Parker's just pouring it into his face.
It's
like,
I would love that. But I would say that the
I like cinnamon flavor. Like,
it looks
a lot
like
of cinnamon flavored stuff I really like.
I'm sure if you go to the place, it looks online, the only thing you can order off, I'm just looking at their online website. The only thing single flavors you can order online is their caramel. It's interesting you can't order. But I'm assuming at the store you can get whatever you want in the single.
You can.
cans, but
You go into the store, as an expert, I can tell you this. You go in the store, and they'll say, what would you like? And you'd say, I would like half and half, or 1/3, or you can tell them anything. They'll do anything. For $40 for a tiny trash can of popcorn.
Can you mix in, like, 3 bags of Skittles and, like, some Reese's Pieces?
I don't know.
Like, yeah, man, I got you. I got you, bro. That'll be $87.50. You're like, worth. Like, I don't understand this fucking popcorn culture that you guys are fucking
popcorn
involved in.
culture.
Yeah. I feel like you guys put as much work into popcorn as, like, all those stereo places in the 90s. Or, like, it's like, I have a business. All it does is install car stereos. I'm like, how is this a business? Cars come with stereos. Like, I don't understand what is happening. It's like House of Stereo, House of Speakers. I'm like, I don't get it. The car has a fucking stereo.
It's like, can't you get 6 packs of popcorn for your microwave and, like, do that? Whoa, shut up, bro.
That's like 8
What are you
cents.
talking about?
Like, popcorn, pretty sure if you go to the grocery store, they try and put the popcorn in your pockets on the way out. Like, they don't want it.
Try to give it
It's
to
like
you.
free. Yeah, it's like, we can't get rid of microwave popcorn. And that's the thing, it's like, it's not fresh. I thought the whole point of popcorn is, like, it's best fresh. And, like, it's like, this shit's been in tins for months.
Oh, not
like,
Topsies. Topsies ain't fresh, man. It's just fucking
when you
amazing.
get gifted it, it's not fresh.
No. They tin that shit and, like, they do something to it. They sprinkle some sort of fucking angel dust on it. Yeah. And, like, I don't know how, but it's amazing. I have no idea.
The anti-air powder, they just sprinkled it. All the air goes away.
Probably got a little crack on it, like those Krispy Kreme donuts they talk about.
Yeah. There's definitely some opioids in the Krispy Kreme frosting. Like, there's definitely some in there. Cool. So, yeah, definitely let me know about Sunday, Parker. There is a chance the game will get moved. It's a small chance. But last week on Thursday is when the NFL games got moved because of COVID. So,
that's when you said Tuesday. Like, it actually might actually.
It actually might happen on Tuesday.
Wow,
that's why I asked you. I was not wasting both of our time while waiting for a response.
Oh, yeah, but if it did get moved, that would be impossible. Basically, there's no way to do
Well,
that.
it depends. What if it was like 9 p.m. on a Tuesday?
Well, then it'd be really easy. But
yeah, so I will just have to wait and see. I expect the game will not get moved, but I am not an expert in this situation, so.
Cool. We'll find out. We'll text later and check in.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Have either... Oh, good.
Okay, I just saw something on the internet. Something just popped up in front of me. And I wonder, maybe this is just really wishful thinking, but I hope this happens all the fucking time. So they're on this giant commercial fishing boat, one of these things that, like, pulls up, thousands of pounds of sardines, whatever. Mm-hmm. Huge fucker. And in the giant net, they caught a loggerhead sea turtle. Now, it's not like choking to death or anything. It's just now on the boat. So instead of just, like, pushing it down the chute into this giant hold, the guy, like, jumps in to, the, like, processing center, turns off the machines and shit, jumps in, like, grabs the turtle and just lifts it up and pulls it out. And it takes him a fucking long time because this boat's enormous, and slowly walks it over to the side and gets it in the water, and it swims away. The species that it was is endangered and all this shit. And I look at that and go, I wonder if that happens all the time. Like, you see the pictures on the internet, about this critter and this thing, and they drag the nets on the bottom of the ocean and just destroy billions of acres of habitats. It's terrifying what they do. But I wonder how often a fisherman, somebody whose livelihood is to, rape the ocean, goes, you know what, fuck it, I'm not going to rape this creature. Let me put this thing back in the water.
If it wasn't for, like, laws and regulations and stuff, yeah, that probably would happen a lot, where they would just, like, say fuck it and, like, either kill it or, like, just take it in. Yeah. But a lot of those vessels, because they're so heavily regulated nowadays, they're only, like, licensed to catch, like, 1, maybe 2 species. And so if they brought it in and they were caught with it, they like lose their boat. And so it's not worth it. And on a lot of those endangered animal stuff, like if you're seeing it, that means there's a lot of cameras on the boat. And so like they're heavily regulated. Like if a Coast Guard came by and found them, like, and they get checked on a fairly regular basis. But yeah, it's just not worth it. The risk reward is nothing, because the guy running that boat is probably an individual contractor that sells to like different markets and stuff.
Right. And
the risk for him in personally would like ruin his family, and it's not worth it. Like, what are you gonna get out of one turtle?
That makes perfect. That versus this is the video, of course, sold as altruism, but it could be anything but. It could be 100% like, oh shit, I cannot let this thing in my boat.
Like, I saw a clip of Deadliest Catch where they found a dead walrus floating. Because what happened, they explain it, is when the walrus dies, they sink, but then just like a human body, when it starts to decompose, it kind of bloats and floats to the surface. Mm-hmm. Well, because they have ivory tusks, they're heavily poached or wore at one point. And so they can legally salvage the tusks if they have a native Alaskan on board, because native Alaskans are allowed to collect the ivory. Mm-hmm. So there's like a loophole that they always have a native Alaskan on their crew, so that if they find a dead walrus, because they're not allowed to kill it, but if they find a dead walrus, they can harvest the tusks, which are worth like $5,000 each. And so it's like this weird loophole where it's like, yeah, we just always have to have an Alaskan guy on the crew. You're like, oh, that's weird. It's like, yeah, but we make like $10,000 a season off of it, so whatever. So even like we literally are making his like half of his wages just off the fucking tusks.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's weird. But yeah, like I expect it's a lot like that. It's like there's not in like the 80s, I'm sure that they would like all kinds of bad shit was happening. But yeah, nowadays it's pretty commercial.
Yeah.
It's not like just some jackass on a boat doing whatever he wants.
Also, did you see breaking news? My Hero season 6 next year. It's going out already.
I mean, I would be fucking amazed if that wasn't true.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of actual news, Bleach is coming back.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Really?
Yeah.
Bleach came back many times.
No, it didn't. What do you mean?
Didn't Bleach the anime have like 18 seasons or some crazy nonsense?
It had a long run, but I think it was only like 10 or 12 seasons.
Oh, Jesus. I watched 4 and I couldn't.
But the show got canceled, and then like 5 to 10 years after the show got canceled, the manga got canceled. And in the final season of the manga, he drops like 5 years of content in one season, or one like series. And so you find out like all the actual like plot points that you didn't know about, but mostly you learn a lot about the characters' backstories that was kind of hidden from you for a long time. But anyway, I'm a big Bleach fan. I'm not a big Bleach fan, but I really enjoyed watching the anime. And I know there's a lot of stuff that I know about a lot of the stuff that happens afterwards. And I'm very excited to actually see that stuff animated. Like, there's several big fights I really want to see. But also, like, the problem with the show was they kept getting past the manga, and so they kept having to put in filler seasons. And the filler seasons mostly just sucked. And so there's no filler seasons anymore. They're just going to finish it. And so it's going to be like Naruto Shippuden versus Naruto, where it's like, all right, we're done with the filler. We're just going to tell the fucking story now. Even though Shippuden eventually got back into the filler, but still, like, you kind of know what I mean. It's like, once it gets to business, right. Bleach was amazing. Like, when Bleach was telling the main storyline, it was awesome. But
Bleach was just fine.
Outpacing it, so they kept having to write bullshit.
That explains a lot about my Bleach experience, because eventually I got there, I was like, I'm spending hours seeing nothing. Yeah. Nothing happens.
Season 1 is good. Season 2 is fucking amazing, because that's the Soul Society arc. Right. And then Season 3 is like, I don't really know what's going on. There's like these weird vampire people running around, which is like totally made up for the anime. And then like the next season, you're like, this is fucking amazing again. And you're like, oh man, it's so weird. But anyway, we should probably get out of here. Jeremy wants to go sleep.
Yeah, I should go too.
All right. Have you guys ever done the carriage rides on the plaza before?
Yes.
No.
How long does it usually like take to get in there and get out, you think?
During this time of the season, probably a lot, man. Like I've done it off season. Mm-hmm. Like there's probably going to be a bunch, but it depends on timing, like when you're up there and all that.
My thought is we'll go to dinner at like 4 or 5, and then we'll just leave dinner and go straight to the appointment at 8. And so we'll be there like half an hour early.
Should be fine. I mean,
yeah,
next week should be fine.
Yeah, I'm just curious because I think so. The ride will probably last until about 8:30. Then we'll get to the car about 8:45. We'll probably get out of the plaza at 9. I think I'll be here about 9:30, but we'll see. I also don't want to just rush out or anything, so we'll see.
You're paying for it. You might as well get to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. It was not as expensive as I expected, honestly.
To watch a horse poop?
Yeah.
I hate horses, man. I'll get into that
I hate
later.
horses.
I fucking hate horses. They're just giant shit bags that are way too smart.
Turns out most animals poop.
Yeah, well, most animals aren't smart enough to know they can throw you the fuck off and stomp you to death if they want to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not
scare the fuck out of
horses.
me. I hate horses.
Yeah. I don't like large animals. Like, they make me very uncomfortable. It's like, how does he know he's not going to step on me? Like, I'm always so nervous he's just going to randomly, like twitch and move and step on my foot. I'm so nervous. And I see people, stand right next to a horse. I'm like, you're going to get your feet crushed. Like, dude, get out of there. Like, just run.
No, they're just too big and too smart. They just scare me.
The smart makes me happy. I'm glad they're smart.
Yeah. Anyway, let's wrap this up. Come on.
All right.